The opinion of ESPN. You can tune into the 6 Eastern Sports Center on ESPN TV for a full breakdown of Fields and Jones Pro Days. Baseball, the Blue Jays will play their third homestand of the season at their spring training ballpark in Florida because of COVID restrictions, the team hoping to return to Toronto at some point in 2021.
Spend your tax return wisely. With Straight Talk Wireless, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense. Tune in to Straight Talk.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN690 Anajar Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, it took about 2 minutes for the NFL owners to say, okay, let's do that 17 games.
Yeah, no brainer.
Justin Fields runs a 4.44. Mm-hmm. Shade faster than Brent. Mac Jones. Uh-oh.
Did you watch the pro day?
I didn't watch it.
Oh.
Uh-oh. You didn't like it? Didn't look good?
I mean, he had a couple overthrows. Every guy's going to have some overthrows. It's just the fact that when they showed Kyle Shanahan's face.
After the overthrows?
It kind of added to the overthrows.
Does Kyle Shanahan's face always look like Kyle Shanahan's face, though, is the question?
He sticks out. Yeah, it's very Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a guy that smiles very often.
No.
I don't think so. Mac Jones and Justin Fields putting on the pro day, 17-game season. International series is interesting. That's garnering a lot of talk right now. We'll even get to Kyle Pitts. I feel like we've done this a little bit. We've talked so much about Kyle Pitts. I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, I feel like he could be a shade overrated. The position is so unique, and the way he plays the position is so unique that it's a sought-after commodity, right? It's supply and demand, and there's just not a lot of supply of it, and there's a heck of a lot of demand of it. But with all the talk about Kyle Pitts, I almost think there might be this guy, it might be hard for him to live up to the hype. I mean, you're talking about, he's got like quarterback kind of expectations, it feels like, to me. First-round guys do. Mm-hmm. You know, any team you go to, if you end up in Cincinnati, whoever they pick, Penei Sewell is going to have these grand expectations. Anybody that, especially the top 10, top 15 picks, they all have expectation. But, man, the hype around Kyle Pitts and what people are willing to do, it's just kind of fun, right? What people are willing to give up to get Kyle Pitts, or a fan base would be like, oh, yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's really interesting because the tight end position is not one of high value to begin with in the draft necessarily over the years. It's not I know Hockenson went in the top 10, but it's not that kind of position, history tells us.
But do you think Pitts is better than Hockenson?
I do because I think he plays it differently.
Okay.
I don't think there are many
Hockenson
guys
was
that
a Pro Bowler last year.
I understand, yeah. He quietly had a Pro Bowl season.
Sure.
Yeah. But he can still do he's more traditional tight end. He can block and he can catch.
The reason why he went so high was because he can do both.
Yes. Sure. And there aren't a lot of guys that can do that anymore. You either specialize as a blocker or a pass, like that move tight end. But even Pitts doesn't even qualify in any of those roles. Like, he's more you almost have to make a new designation for guys like Waller and him. And I would almost hesitate to put Kittle and Kelsey in this conversation because I feel like they do block on occasion. They just don't get a credit for it.
No, I mean, I think, with today's NFL, you're not going to find too many Mercedes Lewis's or TJ Hawkinsons that are, legit at the position of run blocking. But you don't have to do that. Like, Tony Gonzalez wasn't the best run blocker, but he was savvy. He was crafty. Like Rob Gronkowski, in his prime, he was a great run blocker. Like, he would push, defensive ends in the back, like to the linebacker. Like, he took pride in it. If you're savvy and you're crafty, kind of like a Travis Kelce, let's say, that's fine. Like, they don't need you to push the defensive end back, 10 yards. Like, you can have help chipping. You can have help with offensive tackle. There's ways around that. And I think with Kyle Pitts, when you watch him play football, this guy's a very competitive dude. I think he plays a very intense brand of football. And if you play a very intense brand of football from the pass catching position, well, man, I think that you're going to be more than able to learn how to block as well. So I'm not going to say Kyle Pitts is going to be the next reincarnation of Rob Gronkowski when it comes to run blocking, but I think he can be suitable if you teach him the proper techniques and, the kind of like those cutoff blocks and things like that.
Yeah, well, I want to talk more about him. What would you be willing to get? Seriously, think like those aren't my picks. It's not my job. I love the idea of going to get a guy who's a rare commodity. I think you have to ask yourself that. Like if you walked away. This is what I want you to ponder, folks, and we'll get to it a little bit later. We'll deep dive into it. But if you walked away with Kyle Pitts and Trevor Lawrence in this draft, if you're Jacksonville, in some way, shape, or form, and really not a whole heck of a lot else to speak of that really gets you excited, would it be a win? Or are you of the mindset, well, we have 11 picks and you have 5 in the top 65 and you better go get some impact players at all 5 of those picks or 4 out of the 5 of the picks? Are you that person? Because there's 2 different schools of thought on it. And, again, there was one presentation, I think, out of The Athletic today of basically taking that 25, 33, and 45 pick and sending it away and jumping up to get Kyle Pitts. It seems a little crazy knowing that how front offices view draft picks. They just love it. They love draft picks. There's Christmas morning is for kids.
Yeah.
And draft picks for GMs.
Well, I hear you. Listen, I hear everyone saying that you shouldn't trade that far up to get a tight end. It's only a tight end. And, history shows when you take a tight end in the first round, it doesn't work out well. I get all of that. My question, though, is let's say that you don't want to trade up for Kyle Pitts. Let's say that you want to keep your second-round picks and your third-round picks. How many positions on this team right now, if you draft in the second and third round, how many of those guys that you drafted would come in right away and be starters?
Yeah, we had this discussion, right? We went through the whole lineup. I think you can make the case maybe you could find 2 other starters.
Okay.
Now, if you qualify like a running back as a rotational starter, I can kind of squeeze that. But seriously, I think you're right. I think there's a lot of positions kind of locked up, and the impact that you're getting at, say, number 45 isn't going to trump what you already have, most likely, at least initially, unless they just outperform.
So then why do we keep on talking about then we get depth picks in the second and third round when we can get a quality guy like Kyle Pitts and we trade up for him? Now, once again, it's all got to fall into place. I think he's got to slide to at least 10 or later than 10 for this whole thing to work. Because I feel like if you trade, in the top 7 or top 8, that might be way too much capital. Maybe it's another first-round pick down the line. I don't want to see that per se. But I'm just saying everyone's trying to hang on to their second and third-round picks right now. For what? Because they're not going to come in and be starters right away, so what are we talking about?
Yeah, and I think that's the question. I think that's what we'll talk about a little bit more. What is too much for Kyle Pitts, or is nothing too much in this sense? So I really thought about it today, and what I try to do is I think about it. I get it from the fan perspective. Listen, I get it from my perspective. I'll get excited about something too if you want. But then you also got to think about it from their perspective. I think you really got to put yourself in that seat and say, okay, would we pull the trigger here? And what if then I told you this, this, and this, and then you'd say, oh, yeah, you're kind of right. So that's a discussion we get into a little bit. The international series with the NFL. Yeah. They're going back to London. They're going to go to Mexico City. They're going to go to Germany, it looks like, eventually. This will start in 2022. I don't think, by the way, here's where I fall. If you're seeing all the talk about the international series, where does it land the Jaguars? I've always been very consistent with this. I don't think the Jaguars are ever going to London as a franchise, okay? I'll pound that one more time. I do think London is a thing for the Jaguars. And how much of a thing it is, like the 2 games that were introduced back in 2020 that everybody was in an uproar about, that is debatable. Would that 2 games, let's just say we didn't have a pandemic, they would have played 2 home games. Would that have continued this year and then the year after? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. It's a part of the pie. It's a part of what they've branded themselves. It's a piece of the pie that it's pretty obvious when this comes out that every owner wants. The NFL wants. They want more of the piece of the pie in the world, in the global part of the NFL, not just the United States part of the NFL. And people caught on to that, like what Shad Khan was doing. Yeah. And I understand people, they tie in the Jags as, they're going to move there someday. Oh, they've got tarps, or they've got a small market, or they're not winning. I understand that's the narrative. But dismiss that narrative for a minute and think with your eyeballs and make them dollar signs. okay? Because that's what the NFL owners think like often, and not just Shad Khan, but the owners think like that. Well, they just signed a $113 billion TV deal, by the way.
Yeah.
But 3-4 years into this thing, everybody saw what the Jags and Shad Khan were doing, and they were like, you know what? I'll go get a game over there. You know? They saw the dollars. So Jags are not alone in this boat, is my point. And it doesn't look like the international series is going anywhere. Instead, it's expanding.
So this is the question then, because, you know, they had a contract for London for, I think this was the final year of it.
Last year would have been.
Last year.
Yeah, so like, right now nobody has a contract.
Okay, so I get the Jags were always tied to London in terms of growing the brand, but like you just said, I mean, there's other powers that be right now. The Jaguars are just a cog in a giant machine. And now the giant machine wants some. And I don't think the giant machine's going to have any problem saying, hey, all right, Jacksonville, thanks for being the pioneers, but now we'll take it from here. So is Jacksonville still going to be an exclusive thing where they play their games in London, where they are kind of the official team of London, or is it over? Is it just going to be an international series now, and every once in a while they'll play in London, and that'll be the home base for a game or so, but that's going to be it? Where do you think they stand now?
I think the Jaguars, this is going to be like one of those, not much of a business guy, but like a negotiation where you throw in there and you say first right of refusal. And I think the Jaguars are going to have that luxury of, you know, in concept, and not necessarily those terms, but first right of refusal. The Jaguars, they owned that turf first. And I think the NFL appreciated them owning that turf first. They wanted to expand. The NFL did. The Jags were willing to help. They were willing to dance with the NFL on that.
Sure.
I don't think Roger Goodell or the Shield forgets that from Shad Khan. And so if Shad wants to be over there on an annual basis, I think he's going to get over there on an annual basis. I think he's got the relationship. There's still room for another team to get over there, and then, of course, other places too. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But because Tottenham is still one of the stadiums that they're playing in, along with Wembley. And I think the Jags strictly want to play in Wembley. I mean, that's kind of been the narrative. And so I think that's kind of their game. And if, say, they play 2 games in London, then somebody else can go to the other one, and that can put on that rotating basis. But I believe that the Jags, I think they've spent so much work there and done so much work there to create this relationship. I just don't see them throwing that to the side, especially now with 17 games and every other year being an extra home game, essentially, an extra home game. I put in air quotes. So, yeah, I think it's going to be the Jags to say, okay, we'll open the door for somebody else to come in. I think it's first right of refusal type of thing for them. That's the way I view it.
So you view them having 1 home game every year in London, or 2 home games, or just...
No, I review them as 1.
1 home game, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's. I think, Austin. I think again, this is not. This is me just kind of surmising.
Okay.
More so. There's not been a lot of talk about the London because the pandemic kind of shut that down. We still don't know where it exists, and so I think even Shad Khan and Mark Lamping and everybody else in the NFL has been a little bit quiet on this front. So it's hard to gather and connect dots. But here's what I think. I think the Jags miscalculated to a degree the blowback they were going to get for the 2 home games. I think the economics of it made some sense. I mean, you don't have to be a dummy to figure this out. 15% of your local revenue came from 1 game. I asked myself for years and years, okay, 15% times 2 gives me 30%. I get that. I mean, that makes some sense to me. When is that going to happen? So I thought actually they'd go away and home just to try that out on a multi-week basis. But anyway, I think they miscalculated a little bit the blowback they would get. And they got fortunate in a sense because the pandemic eliminated that. Now,
it stopped the conversation of it.
Stopped the conversation, right? And so now you look at what's transpired and you look at 1-15 to number 1 pick to Trevor Lawrence to Urban Meyer to excitement to hopefully flipping this thing around. Well, now you might be printing money in Jacksonville. Potentially. You could. And so all the other things that are going on. Now, would Lot J have helped that a little bit and avoided a second London? I don't know. Okay, I'm not that far down the road. I just feel like the Jags almost got to take 2 at this to present to their fans to say, okay, listen, we're going to stick with that 1 game. All right. Yeah. Don't worry about that 2-game thing. We're going to stick with that 1 game.
Yeah.
But they also get a little bit of a benefit here that the rest of the league wants in. And so is there room for the Jags to do two, right? Because everybody wants a piece of it. So I think the Jags will have a footprint there. I think they will have the one game there. I really believe that. But at this stage, and maybe I'm being super naive, I think that second game, now it's like almost out of sight, out of mind for me at this stage. Now we'll see how the Jags do, and we'll see what else happens. And could it be a chess piece in whatever Shad wants to do downtown and not get city council's approval again? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I think that if you're Shad Khan and you're overseeing this whole thing, I do think 2 home games in London is way too aggressive. Now, I think that, you have to fall in line. Like, you don't have to play in Germany. You don't have to play in Mexico, wherever they're going to be at. But you can play 1 game a year in London, and that can be your home game. But like you just said, there's a new sense of resurgence here in the city brought to you by Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer. Now, granted, they haven't been on the field yet.
They haven't won a game.
We haven't even seen them yet. But if you call the ticket offices and you ask them how's it going, they're going to tell you it's going fantastic.
Absolutely.
So
it's off the charts.
In terms of, and it was the word that was being thrown around a lot last year, viability. Well, the viability seems to be in Jacksonville now, even though, once again, we haven't seen this team on the field yet. But at least there's going to be viability for the first season. Now, however the first season, goes, we'll see. But I think that when we talk about these London games, I think 1 is okay. I think 2, I don't want to use the term greedy because at the end of the day, like, you're in the business to make money. So I don't, take that for how you want. But I think when you talk about 2 home games in London with the way this city is right now, it's like, well, what do you want from us? Like we had a record amount of ticket sales in terms of season tickets and people are excited, but we're going back to 2 home games in London. Like, that to me would be another case of bad optics for Shad Khan. And I don't think he's going to be about that life. I think he's going to only have 1 London game.
I think you're right on a lot of these fronts, but I'm going to play the guy who's the billionaire right now for a moment, okay? And I got to wonder sooner or later, the Shad who's trying to push the envelope in Jacksonville, trying to push things forward, this isn't about the fans as much. Does he say hey, well, then tell your city council to vote yes? But also, I'm trying to do more.
Yeah, but
tell
also,
them to
sure, but then also tell the people that are in charge of it to go through the proper channels so the city council's not confused. I mean, we can go back and forth with that debate all day.
Yeah, we can play politics if we want,
sure,
but the bottom line is, I'm just telling you from that, if I'm him sitting on the Kismet and you're telling me, well, I don't think it's a greedy, blah, 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 I'm like, okay, well, I've tried to funnel a bunch of money into the city, and you stopped it. I mean, you can say whatever happened, but at the end of the day, I was ready to go spend hundreds of millions of dollars, and you stopped it. And so that's not about the fans, by the way. Again, that's about the political side of it here.
It's the political side, and it's growing downtown Jacksonville. But at the end of the day, Shad Khan's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And people have, bought season tickets in a record number, I think. So, I mean, I understand that you could be upset because Lot J didn't get approved, and that is tied to the Jaguars. But at the end of the day, you're the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If people are coming to the game, you got no excuse.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not sitting here to tell you that that's the way he's thinking. I'm just trying to think like, hey, I'm really trying to get something done here, and I couldn't. And so am I now a little ticked off that I'm not getting anything done? Yeah. And then hey, city council, you explain it to the Jags fans, why we're taking another game over there until we get something done. Does he use it as leverage is my point. I don't know.
I don't think you do. I mean, maybe, but if you're trying to get a city and a fan base and a team all on the same page, and all of a sudden you said you want to go 2 home games in London, that does not do that. I think that ticks more people off.
It absolutely does. Yeah.
So then why would you do that?
Yeah,
for a couple extra $1 million? I just have a hard time coming around on that.
Well, listen, I'm not advocating it, okay? I'm just saying sometimes it's business, and sometimes it's in the world of politics, or sometimes it's whatever you want to get done. It's a chess piece, and I don't know. I mean, that's kind of using the fans as that in a sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know how billionaires think, okay? Like, I don't know what people think.
I'm just going by what the billionaire has told me. And he said that, there's a problem with viability. Okay. Well, if Jaguars fans come out in full effect to support Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer and this new regime, and they're out there and tickets are selling, I mean, to me, then that shows that it's working. Then it's viable. So it's hard to justify playing 2 home games in London when you've told us you are worried about the viability. That cancels it out, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it's landing. I mean, that's what I just told you.
Yeah.
I think it is. I don't think this is about today or tomorrow. I just wonder 3 years down the road, does it go back to 2? Just to answer your question. Could it eventually open the doors back to 2? What folks have to understand a little bit about this whole international series, and I think everybody tied the Jags into it, and they tied themselves into it, as well. But this is now, again, I go back to the owners and the Shield. If you look at Major League Baseball, it's everywhere. Right, it's in the Dominican Republic, it's in Japan, it's all. If you look at NBA, it's in China, it's in Germany. The NFL is not like that. I mean, soccer's a global sport. The NFL, as big as it is in the States, it's not like that. I mean, it's just not. I mean, sure, people know Patrick Mahomes is probably in China or Colombia, but it's not celebrated like some of these other sports are. It's oversaturated in the United States of America. I mean, it's maybe not oversaturated, but it's saturated. Where else do you expand? If you're any business, if you're Tesla, if you're Elon Musk, if you're making millions and millions and millions of dollars and all this stuff anyway, you still try to find room to expand, right, and get more, and keep pushing the arrow up. Well, the NFL is trying to do the same thing. And I think this is less about Jacksonville and London. It's more about the NFL in this international series because they want to push the product to a non-saturated market. There's a whole globe that doesn't know about football, that they can cash in on eventually. And I think the Munich stuff is very interesting. How far will they go? There's been talk at one time or another about China or doing a game. I mean, how would you even do that? I have no idea how you do any of this stuff. But Mexico City, Toronto, London, Munich, I don't know where else they go. I'm not sure where else it lands, but it's happening. And the reason it's happening at the root of this is not because of you, the fan that didn't show up. It's not. TV, the dollars, all this stuff, they're making a mint. It's about saturation and how do we globalize the NFL and get even a bigger piece of the pie like most sports do. Golf does it. All these sports do it.
Does NBA do it?
Well, the NBA does it in China. I mean, isn't it massive in China, in Germany? And I don't even know where else it's big. It might not be big in South America. I don't know. But it's a global sport, right? I mean, LeBron James is a global icon.
He is.
Some of the biggest stars. When the China stuff came about, they talked about the ratings in China that were unbelievable for the NBA.
My point is this, though. How many NBA – I mean, I think there's a couple, but how many NBA games do they play in China? How many NBA games do they play, in Mexico? I don't think there's that many. That's a good point. It's a global sport. Now, football isn't a global sport per se. But, I guess what I'm trying to say is I get the whole global domination thing from the NFL. You're trying to take over country by country and get fans excited about it. At the same time, if you're trying to be like the NBA, that's fine and everything. But guess what? The NBA has global stars.
Yes.
It's not so much that they play in the countries. It's just everybody knows them for whatever.
Well, here's the difference, though, Austin. I think in other countries they play golf. In other countries they play basketball. China, obviously, all these European League basketball where we have a lot of players locally that are playing and they make good money and people come out and they see it and it's a big thing, right? It's not as big as the NBA, but it's a big thing. Soccer is like that, too. People don't have football. So they have to go there to introduce it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's not like people all over the world are playing football like the way the Americans play football.
No,
and then
they
say, okay, wow, we're trying to be like Patrick Mahomes. No, they're not even doing that. There are places that aren't even playing football.
No, there's definitely countries that don't play football.
A lot of them,
I know
in fact.
Germany has football.
Yeah.
I've had friends play in Germany. But
and now London does.
Yeah.
There are some things that have popped up, but not broad enough.
Yeah.
And then if you look at even Canada, they play it kind of different, right? Australian rules football. It's kind of, but this product, like the NBA, like golf, like soccer, like baseball, is not the same.
Yeah. I guess I just wonder, and I have no clue. I don't think anybody does here, but I wonder how the world views the game of football. When I say that, rugby's big in a lot of countries. We don't understand rugby here in the United States.
No.
It's growing. We don't understand it.
As a casual fan, masses of people don't understand.
If you go to Australia, it's rugby. You go to New Zealand, it's definitely rugby. I think if you go to Europe in some places, it's rugby. I wonder if you were to try to bring the NFL and football over there, how it turns out with rugby. What do they think about it? It's this is cool, but it's not rugby. You know what I'm saying?
It might be. Or even the football to football stuff, in some places. The bottom line, though, there's a globe that is untapped when it comes to the NFL Shield in the sport of football. And they're trying to tap into it. I think that part is just business. Take the Jags away from it. Take everything, the fan away from it. That's just kind of business sense. And that's what the NFL's trying to do, and they're not backing away from that. And I still maintain there's no franchise going across the pond in the next, probably in my lifetime. I don't even believe it. I just don't buy it. Canada, potentially.
Yeah.
Another franchise in Toronto or wherever, possible. It makes a little more sense, but definitely not overseas. I don't see it that way, but I do think this experimental growth of the game will continue to happen. Hey, let's talk about the Pro Days. Justin Fields, Mac Jones. What did we learn? What does it mean? Where do they go? It's next on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Grab an umbrella today. Mix of clouds and sun and scattered showers and perhaps a thunderstorm. Highs in the upper 70s. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS47 and FOX30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero-interest financing with nothing down.
They just don't make them like they used to.
People say that a lot, and sometimes it's true, but not for air conditioners. Manufacturers actually make them better than they used to. It's just that local AC companies don't install them like they ought to. Old school rules of thumb and yesterday's shortcuts simply sabotage new school systems. Can new technology give you more comfort with longer service life? Only if the AC tech knows how to properly engineer it for your home and how to install it right. So techs that don't understand inverters, low voltage controls, and how to configure the software, dip switches, and refrigerant charge for Florida humidity, they'll totally turn it into turd buckets, especially if they just do a swap the box install without fixing your ductwork and airflow. My point, the better the technology, the more important the install. At Griffith Service, we fix what others can't, but it's best to have us install it right from the beginning. So if your new system ain't working right or your old one needs replacing, call
GriffinService.com.
1250-697.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer. It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com. Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Culhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the south side. Culhane's Irish Pub.
rub Irish sass with 5-star class.
Is your home not feeling very new anymore? Sick of that pink bathroom tile, popcorn ceilings, a stove older than you are? Whether it's repairs or reno, finance it smart with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, where you can borrow up to 90% of your home's appraised value. You've got good taste, but your block counters ain't cheap. So get to work and open a Honeydew HELOC with 1-to-1 Financial. When you do, we'll send you a free handyman tool set to get started. Apply online at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
How many teams really need to change the starting quarterback position? That list is probably 4 or 5 teams.
They are.
Washington, Chicago. Let's throw Carolina in there, even though they have a starter. Patriots is 4. Who else?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio or streaming live on the ESPN app. This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
Russell Wilson's agent on the record gave Shefty 4 teams Russell Wilson would like to play for. That is an important distinction in this conversation.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and watch exclusively on ESPN Plus.
Brent Martineau.
All right, Jason Fitz, thanks for checking in, man. We didn't try to keep you too long today. We gave you a shorter day.
Austin Lane.
Hey, Jason, real quick, man. Since you have that Belinda Koff Award, since you can, vote on that, Murray State's got a couple good receivers. Now, they didn't play this year. Okay, they didn't play a game this year, but Murray State's got a couple good receivers. Just check them out real quick.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
In terms of being pro ready, I think I've always tried to be a pro, whatever I do, and I think that a team that picks me is going to realize that they don't have to worry about me being the first guy in and the last guy out. I'm going to sit and watch as much film as I can and do all the right things. And then obviously, the tape speaks for itself. I mean, you can watch what I did and nobody knows my reads. So people out there that say that I'm just throwing to the first guy, it's not necessarily true. I do a really good job of dissecting defenses, and I'm going to continue to do that. Obviously, in the NFL, it's going to be a lot more difficult, but hopefully I'll be able to figure that out.
That is Mac Jones.
As Kyle Shanahan shakes his head again. I'm kidding, but I'm not.
Have we really discussed, how good do you think Mac Jones is going to be? We're trying to, hey, where's Mac Jones going to go?
Yeah.
And I do think he's still a very interesting quarterback in this class. But how good is he going to be in today's NFL? My concern for Mac is his inability to be mobile. And I understand he ran a 4.7 40. The bottom line is he doesn't play like that, folks. I mean, he plays differently than Justin Fields. I'm not even – Gardner's more of a scrambler. To be honest with you, a lot of teams – and one of the reasons I don't think they played him and they got in the doghouse is they don't like that style. When you're a scrambler and you have no idea where the guy's going to be, offensive linemen don't like that. The play is so broken down. Coaches don't seem to like that. I'm talking about a guy with some escapability that can run away from a defender and pick up 8 yards if needed to go get the first down. We see that. Bortles had that ability here in Jacksonville. I'm not saying Minshew didn't, but Minshew had more breakdown ability kind of then go. These guys today, and I'm not even talking to Lamar Jackson here or Kyler Murray, but these guys have the ability now to run away from a defender, make one guy miss, and then go pick up an extra 5 yards to move the chains and keep a drive going. I just don't see Mac Jones doing a lot of that.
See, I don't think Mac Jones really has to do that, though. I think that, listen, if you run a 4.79 or a 4.8 or whatever the case may be, and you're halfway mobile, that's good enough for me. I don't need you to rush for 75 yards a game on the ground. Aaron Rodgers ran for 149 yards last year. Aaron Rodgers wasn't running the football. He was staying in the pocket. But there's always the threat where if it breaks down, he can take off for 10.
Yeah.
I think Mac Jones can do the exact same thing. But I also think that you have to put him in an offense where he's going to benefit from it, where you're not going to ask him to do these read options and things like that. Give him one read, give him two reads, maybe even a third read. If those are taken up, then you can take off a little bit. Like, I think Mac Jones is more than capable of doing that. And I think there's a lot of guys in the NFL that do that right now. Just because he doesn't run a 4.4 doesn't mean that he can't get you some yards when he has to.
I feel like I need to almost like get up and demonstrate this in a way.
Hit me with
but
it.
like you said, Aaron Rodgers, right? And
Sure.
so when Aaron Rodgers, he's like got the snap, and then the tackle misses a guy,
Sure.
and so he's got a free runner at him.
Yeah.
And so when he needs to like get outside the pocket and kind of just keep that guy at bay
Yeah.
and side, shuffle a little bit,
Yeah.
or go back a couple yards and then sprint to the right to be able to create some
What
space
are
and
you
time
doing?
to throw.
You just throw out your back? You
No,
stand
I
up-
wanted to do it, but then
Yeah,
I was going to
you-
get away from the mic. I couldn't carry it.
Oh, I got you.
But that's what I envision, okay? I envision that play where, follow me here, Aaron Rodgers gets the snap.
Sure.
Got kind of almost like a free runner, or the play breaks down pretty quick on the right side, and a guy's coming out, a defensive end, a good athlete is coming at him, and now he's about 8 yards deep on the right hash, and he's able to shake that guy and get closer to the sideline and then zip a ball in there.
I watched Minshew do that in Denver.
Yeah, and Minshew has done it. He has done it. I don't know if I ever saw Mac Jones do that, and I just don't know if that's going to be his game to be able to do that. I think today's quarterback, so again, this isn't about yards necessarily. It's about that escapability to be able to create some time, keep a third down play alive, and then use your arm and your talent and your reads and all that stuff to get it there. I think 60%, 65% of today's quarterbacks are able to do that.
Okay. Yeah, and I agree with you. Listen, I don't know the scramble ability of Mac Jones because we didn't really see a lot of it. But I also think that a guy that can run a 4.8 or a 4.7, whatever it was, come through the Alabama strength and conditioning program has a little bit of mobility to him. I think that a guy who has played, a significant amount of football, who's seen a lot of things, who comes from a pretty prestigious football program in terms of, knowledge and what they can do on the board and identifying schemes and things like that. I think Mac Jones is more than capable of doing Aaron Rodgers-esque stuff, just like Gardner Minshew was. Like Gardner Minshew, I never heard anybody say Gardner Minshew out of college, man, get ready because this guy's going to make plays with his legs. This guy's going to, he's going to shift guys here. He's going to spin on guys here. Like, just wait. He can extend plays if he has to. I didn't hear one person break that down about Gardner Minshew, but I saw it against Denver. I saw it a couple of times, right? And that guy runs a 4.9. So I think Mac Jones can kind of do the exact same thing. And with Aaron Rodgers, once again, it's always the threat. Now, is Mac Jones as fast as Aaron Rodgers? Probably not. But once again, Aaron Rodgers averaged less than 10 yards per game rushing the ball last season for the Green Bay Packers. Like, that's not his thing anymore. And people get it confused, like, well, this guy can take off and run with the ball. It was never really his MO. It was just a threat. He used it to get open. I think Mac Jones is more than capable of making one defensive end miss, spinning around and making a play.
Well, if he can do that in the NFL, where everybody is bigger, faster, stronger anyway, by the way.
Absolutely.
Even to the SEC. I know some of the SEC folks think
it is the NFL. It's the NFL chip.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he can do that, then I think he's got a shot to be a really – I only see that – I'm not even knocking Mac here. I just think that's a deficiency potentially of his game and how it translates to the NFL. I'm going to sit here and be like, wow, this guy's going to just – he's the next Tom Brady. He's going to throw it all over the yard, and he's got this leadership ability. Well, we don't know how that's going to translate to the NFL. The guy makes good reads. He throws a beautiful long ball. He's very accurate, and he's got the smarts, the desire, all that stuff. He checks boxes in a lot of ways. I just think we're in an NFL now where you have to ask that question. Is he mobile enough to be the guy I want under center? And I think that's the one part that would worry me out of Mac. That's why I have him going all over the first round. I mean, I could see teams shying away from that, but then you could fall in love with the other stuff. So I think Mac's going to be good, man. And my view on this class is I think 5 of these guys are going to be good players. I think this is going to be one of the best quarterback classes since 1983. Like, I really do. Yeah. Like, I which means it's probably going to suck. But
more than likely.
I mean, I think this class could eventually get compared to that. I think you're looking at 5 quarterbacks that are legit, like really legit. I've said this before. I think in part because the position is played better now than it has been ever before by the masses. There are more good quarterbacks that exist. There are more good quarterbacks that kind of know the game and know what to do, even if they only did have 12, 14 games in college to play. The offense is now catered to the quarterbacks. It's if you don't know exactly how to run the NFL offense, we'll throw some things in that help you get to the NFL offense. There's so many things that now help the quarterback out. The rules do the same as well. You have so many. You don't have just one receiver and a running back anymore. Yeah. Now most teams have 2, 3, 4 receivers and a running back to go along. There's just so much help for you. I think this class is going to be special. I think Mac's a part of that. After 5, I get a little bit curious because of the Kyle Trasks and others of the world. But I think these top 5 guys, I don't think they're going to be busts. So I think Mac's going to be a very good quarterback, and then it will depend on the situation, what they put around him, how good they are around him.
Yeah, all I know is, listen, when I saw Teddy Bridgewater do, because I watched a couple Panthers games because I had Curtis Samuel in fantasy. It was a roller coaster year for my fantasy team, to say the least. But all I know is when I see Teddy Bridgewater doing quarterback read options, getting first downs, Teddy Bridgewater of all people, I'm like, okay. I feel like any quarterback can, if you're halfway athletic, you're halfway mobile, you can work in a lot of offenses. Now, once again, I think you have to have that special kind of offense for Mac Jones. But to say that he's not athletic and he's not mobile, I don't buy into that narrative. I think he's mobile enough. I think he's going to be athletic enough to work in the right system.
Roger Goodell just said full stadiums in the fall. That's the expectation across the NFL. You going? More on that. More on Justin Fields coming up. Did he just have the best pro day of any? I thought I just heard that the last couple of weeks from other quarterbacks. It's all on the way on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
I'm Jake Mitchell. The state of Texas will be well represented in the Final Four with the Cougars from Houston and the Bears from Baylor punching their tickets last night. Now that Houston has made the Final Four, guard Quentin Grimes wants to know if the Cougars will finally get some respect.
I definitely feel like I did, just knowing everything I went through, just knowing everything the team has went through together, just persevering through everything. People are counting us out the whole year, and we just stayed with it. We did our thing, went out there, and now we're going to the Final Four, baby.
The conclusion of the Elite Eight is tonight with USC versus Gonzaga and UCLA versus Michigan. Trevor Lawrence is the presumed number 1 overall pick for the NFL draft next month, but he will not attend the draft taking place in Cleveland. He's going to stay in Clemson with some family members and friends, and then he'll probably get on a plane to Jacksonville. Sports Center Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan.
The Max Kellerman Show.
The Nets started out the season without James Harden, who's their second best player, and then have played recently without Kevin Durant, who's their best player. Also, when Kyrie joined the team, he and Harden had to figure things out. There was an adjustment period. And so the Nets' record does not reflect, their entire record does not reflect the team they've become.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN+.
CGC Water has been telling you, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options and financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it. Because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer. Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu.
There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop. It is the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The golf club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the golf club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the golf club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road. You can even rent 2021 models. Rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Mirabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Voted best wings in St. Augustine as well. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Mirabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Does learning a language feel like this?
No habla español? Hablo. It's hablo? Yes. It's hablo.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
Since my husband is from Guatemala, I'll apply what I've learned in Babbel to our real-life situations.
The app is so easy to use and it's so practical. It helps you learn things that you will actually need.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Ever finally get around to trying something and it's so much better than you expected, where you're mentally kicking yourself for not doing it sooner or wondering where it's been your whole life? That's how Griffin customers feel about their Florida-rated AC. They even tell me,
we're never going back to regular AC.
And it's the same for our Florida-rated water heaters, too. It's so much better, our customers wonder why no one told them about it before. Well, we fix what others can't. Tired of having to run a shower or faucet for 3 minutes before you actually get hot water? We can fix that.
Nice.
Tired of Jacksonville's swampy hard water hurting your appliances and hair? We can fix it.
Naturally.
Tired of a tank water heater going bad every 5 to 8 years or running out of hot water?
Yep.
Griffin can fix that big time.
Oh, yeah. I never knew I could have hot water as soon as I turn on the tap.
And my hair could be so much healthier. And my appliances can last longer.
Well, you can, but only if you call
GriffinService.com. 1430-261-1250-697.
Max. I can't wake up and say, you know what, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. That's not where I am right where I want to be.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN+.
I mean, we're in a situation where when you bring in a rookie quarterback, to me, it's always better, especially on the team that you have. If you got a veteran starter there already who you like and you're comfortable winning with, that's usually the direction you want to go, and not throw someone else out into the fire until they're fully ready. And that's the situation we're at. If you look at free agency, if it goes the other way around and you do things differently, maybe. But right now, Jimmy, it's going to be hard to find a quarterback that gives us a better chance to win than Jimmy right now, especially even a rookie in the draft. So that's what you look into. Now, if someone wanted something for that and it can make your team better in a lot of other ways, you listen to that, but it also depends on how good you feel about that rookie. And we're not there yet right now. And odds are we probably won't be. That's why we're happy that we don't have to be that way.
Mike Shanahan, give me the point.
Kyle.
Oh, man, yeah.
Give me the point. That's like the guy in Jeopardy, right? That misses, and you just screwed it up.
I hate that dude. I absolutely hate that
dude.
And the next person
just jumps in. Or the Wheel of Fortune one, where they
get all cocky.
Done,
yeah.
but they screwed up the.
They can't pronunciate it right. Oh, how embarrassing! How embarrassing when you go on Wheel of Fortune, you can't read though. Oh. That's a rough one.
I still think it's the one game show I think I would. Now, you got to get a little lucky.
Wheel of Fortune?
But I think I'd be pretty good
Wheel
at
of Fortune? Too much stress for me.
Really? See, I'm not smart enough for Jeopardy. You got to get super lucky and the price is right.
There's too much of the unknown, though, in Wheel of Fortune, because you got to spin that stupid wheel, and then it lands on bankrupt, and then, you're in your feelings and your emotions get high. Put me on Name That Tune with Jamie Foxx. My wife has actually tried to sign my mom and myself up to Name That Tune with Jamie Foxx.
Really?
Yeah.
Steph always said I would be good at, The Amazing Race. But I don't understand why she says that. My sense of direction is awful.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I had a random person ask me to be on that show with them one time. I'm like, you're going to ask, and it wasn't random. I knew of the person. We've interacted, but it's you don't know how I sleep. You don't know how I live. You're going to bring me on The Amazing Race with you for 3 months? Good luck with that.
Yeah.
We got to get Gary Barnidge
I know, we got to get Barnidge on. You said
Every time that comes up.
How about right now we have Austin Kim on. Austin Kim playing in the Augusta National Women's Amateur.
That name, by the way, Brent.
That is a good name. Brent Martineau here in Austin Lane, my co-host here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Austin, thanks for joining us and taking a few minutes. You spell your name A-U-S-T-O-N. My co-host over here, A-U-S-T-E-N.
Oh, wow.
Very unique.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, you caught us at a crazy time, but pick a game show that you think you'd be pretty good at.
Jeopardy.
Oh, very.
Wow.
So she goes to she's a Vanderbilt.
She's
pretty smart.
Enough said.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of dumb sports guys over here, Austin.
I went to Murray State, the public Ivy League of the country. So yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what Murray State's known for.
You better believe it.
Austin, how excited are you to get the Augusta National Women's Amateur gets going tomorrow? How cool is this event? And it must be pretty special to be in the field.
Oh, it's awesome. I was looking forward to it last year, but with everything that happened, COVID and, I'm just extremely ecstatic to be here. The course is in fantastic shape. Golf game feels good. I'm just ready to compete.
You've played in a lot of big events. And by the way, we should share your story. Austin Kim from St. Augustine went to Nice High School, and just add her and her sister Augusta to Augusta. Did I say that right? August.
Yeah.
I got Augusta and August and everything. But add you and your sister to a bunch of athletes that probably don't get enough attention. We have so many good athletes in all these different sports around here. Mm-hmm. And did you know Austin Kim is from St. Augustine, went to Nice High School, and playing in the Augusta National Women's Amateur, right? So that's a little bit of your story. But you've played in a lot of big events. How do you attack this event? Is it, hey, this is pretty cool, let's just see where my game takes me? Do you have a goal set in mind of exactly what you want to do? Obviously, everything you enter, you probably want to win. But what is your mental attack to this week?
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely want to play that last round at Augusta. I don't want to just play the practice round. I want to, compete on the last day. Also, this event is huge and it's very competitive, but also these are just 2 more golf courses that I'm adding to my, list of courses that I've played on my repertoire. So I'm just trying to make sure that I don't get too starstruck, but also I'm here to compete again. So very exciting stuff.
Well, and Austin, you mentioned it, and from your perspective, if you were to play in that final at Augusta, is that kind of like the is that like the creme de la creme in terms of your goals of playing at golf courses? Does every kid, I guess, grow up wanting to play at Augusta?
Yeah, definitely. It's paradise for a golfer,
By the way, I will share a little secret, a little humble brag. I have played there. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. And
how'd you shoot, though?
87.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
Had an Uncrustable on Amen Corner. So you might want to just duplicate that. That's my claim to fame at Augusta. I'm not sure they'll even have any there for you.
That's bliss, isn't it? Having an Uncrustable on Amen Corner.
It absolutely is. What are you looking forward to, I guess, about playing the golf course? You obviously seen it on TV, everything. But what is kind of Is there something you visualize? Is it Amen Corner? Is it a certain hole? Is it something like going down and seeing where Bubba hit that shot? I mean, what is it for you?
I mean, I'm looking forward to how beautiful the course is, and I'm also looking forward to the sandwiches. But the course will be beautiful. There's no doubt. It'll be my first time there.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. Good luck to you in the event. How you said your game's in good shape. What do you mean? What are you doing well? Are you playing as good as you can? I mean, how do you feel tuning up for this event?
I feel confident. Long game's been pretty good lately. I'm rolling it well. So, all I can do is just fairways and greens and hit them close and make a few putts. Just keeping it simple.
Austin, being the professional that I am, I try to do some research on you. And spoiler, I'm not that professional, but I try to do some research on you anyways. But with that being said, every single article that I read about you, they brag about how athletic you are. And it's always about your athleticism. Did you grow up playing various sports? Because I find it very hard to believe someone can just be athletic in golf. Like, there has to be some kind of correlation to another sport that maybe you played. Is that true?
I did not grow up playing another sport, but I grew up with my dad telling me constantly to just hit it as far as I could.
Okay.
So, I guess I just have good genes.
Hey, no doubt about it. The pride of Nice High School, St. Augustine's own Austin Kim, spelled A-U-S-T-O-N.
Yeah.
Good luck and enjoy the experience at Augusta National. I hope you get to that final round. It's not just a practice round. Play well, okay?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
You bet. We'll tell everybody how Austin does the next couple of days. Really cool part of what Masters Week has become now a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's this Augusta National Women's Am. It's the drive, chip, and putt for the kids. And obviously it's the Masters.
I'm kind of jealous because there might be a more rare way to spell Austin than my name. There's Austin Matthews of the Maple Leafs, big-time NHL player, A-U-S-T-O-N as well.
Oh, it is O-N.
And it's just me and Jane Austen holding it down for the E-N.
It died in 1812.
It died in 18... Yeah, I tuned your homework. Finally, we're on the same page.
How about A-U-S-T-Y-N? Someone's got to have that.
I'm going to look that up real quick.
We'll look it up. We'll take
more
a break.
Breaking news when we return.
We're coming back at 4 o'clock on ESPN690. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Cohane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the South Side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. Yeah, they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. CohanesIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the South Side. Cohane's Irish Pub, Irish Sass with 5-star class.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers. They take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Hi, my name is Christina Clossie. I'm the CFO at Web.com Group, and I'm proud to serve as chair of the First Coast American Heart Association's 2021 Go Red for Women campaign. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women, and too many women remain unaware. We encourage all women to live fierce and be relentless in taking charge of their health. To learn more or get involved, visit firstcoastgored.heart.org.
It's time for some straight talk. Your tax return could look different this year, but you're still going to hear a lot of noise about how to spend it. So when the big carriers tell you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense and tune in to Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story. After the third time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Well represented to watch fields, including the Jets, Broncos, and Falcons. One key for whichever team drafts fields will be patience, says ESPN's David Pollack.
I think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. I really do. I do think it will take time, but I think he's made up of the stuff that is a guy that will continue to improve, will continue to grow, continue to get better. Remember, he pushed for the season, was one of the main spokesmen for the season. He's an incredible leader, just incredible physical gifts.
Baseball, the Blue Jays will play their third homestand of the season at their spring training ballpark in Florida because of COVID-19 restrictions. Team hopes to return to Toronto at some point in 2021.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, and an app that lets you bank anytime, anywhere, choosing Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Welcome into the show, a name you know. If you've been listening and watching ESPN for a long time, I know you know him. We're going to call him one of the forefathers, if you will, of sports radio, Mike Greenberg.
Thank you. Forefathers is an interesting, that's fascinating. Every day, as I talk to more people, I get older and older. So that's kind of funny.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
In terms of the Bears, yeah, I've met with them. It was a really great meeting. We just talked football for like an hour straight. That's the best type of meeting for me, is just talking ball. So hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to them more and see where that relationship kind of heads as well.
That is Mac Jones, Alabama quarterback out of Jacksonville in the bowl school. Don't lose sight of that. I love the local guy's story, and Mac Jones is one heck of a story from the year he had last year to now being in the NFL draft. Could be a top 5 pick. I mean, it's remarkable. So really good stuff with Mac Jones as he continues to just climb up mock draft boards, especially with San Francisco in mind. I'm not convinced that's where he's going. But Mac Jones certainly could be headed that way. That was a lot of fun catching up with Austin Kim. Augusta National Women's AM coming up really starting tomorrow through April 3rd. We're already on April tomorrow, Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. So that will be cool. And then once again, drive, chip, and putt. And then next week's Masters Week. So for you golf fans out there, there's a lot of good stuff. And good luck to St. Augustine's Austin Kim at Augusta. Hopefully, first 36 holes, by the way, are played at a different golf course, the Island and Bluff Nines at Champions Retreat Golf Club in Augusta. And then the cut is made down to 30 players, and they play that final round. That's why she mentioned the final round. Hopefully I make it there and not just a practice round at Augusta National. So we'll keep an eye on that. I have it covered for you here and also on TV on CBS47 and FOX30. By the way, list of nominees out for ESPN 690 Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Honda The Avenues. Go check those names out. Some area schools represented, as always, and you can go vote. Show some pride. Vote for your favorite, ESPN690.com. I read this about Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been the best workout from a quarterback we've seen since you name it.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, since what? Last week? I mean, didn't we wow about Zach Wilson? Like,
yeah.
Didn't we wow about Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
I mean, we getting carried away.
What did Trevor Lawrence say about it, though? Did Trevor Lawrence mention it? Did he retweet it? Quote tweet it?
It wasn't a shh.
We still on the shoes? Is that what we're on right now? And that's okay if we're still on the shoes. I'm just saying we're still on the shoes right now for Trevor's account. Coos, Trevor Tracker. Prep it in a little bit. I'm not going to put you on the spot. We got any new developments on Trevor Lawrence? What are you saying?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
I think he's chilling. I mean, obviously the Lil Nas X stuff has taken off.
Hey, just say he's chilling. Yeah. Hey, what's up with the Trevor Tracker? He's chilling. Yeah, chilling. Good. Awesome. Riveting stuff from the Trevor Tracker.
Okay,
it's
Trevor Tracker. You got to give Trevor Tracker a little bit of a warning.
By the way, hey, interesting about how low-key Trevor is. Of course, getting married this month.
Yeah.
But just to give you another sense, my understanding is, I've been doing some work on this, by the way, so I think I got a pretty good understanding of it. We'll see if it changes.
Okay.
That he's really not doing like a media.
Brent's going to cover the wedding. Like, hey, I'm outside the church. They won't let me in, but hopefully we can get an interview.
Would it be a bad look? I'm going to ask people this. If I go cover the wedding.
Yeah. From the parking lot. Yep. Hard thing to get into. Trevor Lawrence's pro day, Trevor Lawrence's wedding. I feel like all I got to do is wear a suit and you're good to go. Just find the right church, Brent. We can get in there.
I mean, there's been many a people that have snuck into a wedding.
Here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a team effort. It's going to be a joint ESPN 690 effort. I'm going to get a bunch of, it's a wedding though. I was going to say we should wear a bunch of Clemson gear. I'll say I'm one of his teammates. You say you're a coach, and then we'll get in. But we're wearing suits. So we can get like little pins, little Clemson pins then, a little Clemson tie,
That's a good
something
idea.
like that. Let's do it. Let's crash Trevor Lawrence's wedding.
I would think we'd not get off to a good start with Trevor, the family, agent.
Oh, that affects you, obviously. I mean, that makes your job harder. I'm fine.
I mean, in the long run, how many times are we really going to get Trevor on anyway, right? I mean,
that's a good point.
I mean, he's got to talk to us at some point.
He's got no choice.
The NFL makes him talk.
It's in the contract, yeah.
So, I mean, how much is he really going to come on ESPN 690?
Either you want to give Brent Martineau the Marshawn Lynch treatment, or you're going to give him a good interview. Regardardless, though, you got to talk to Brent Martineau.
Listen, I've been trying to be nice to the Jags for a long time.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
Still don't have an Urban Meyer
nice
interview
guys
yet.
finish last, though,
75 days
sometimes.
in.
You know, hey, sometimes nice guys finish last, Brent. Be careful with that.
Maybe you're on to something.
I think so. I think we crashed the wedding.
Yeah, let's just go a 180 on the way. I do
Open
things
bar,
here.
you think, though? I don't know. Open bar?
We'll throw down a good tip.
Okay, done.
Open bar, I would think.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're really big partiers in the Lawrence family.
I don't know how big the wedding is.
That's a good point. It's going to be like 10 people and me and you there. Let's get it.
Be a little harder to crash if there's 10 people. But anyway,
for whatever reason, I imagine you guys both wearing like Trevor Lawrence wigs, though. Like,
oh no, that's gonna draw away. Hey, like I'm gonna draw attention to myself already. Walking in 6'6", not shaving, obviously, rocking my dreads. Like, yeah, we're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. But once again,
you're going to stick out.
We don't have a diamond sponsor yet. Let's get a diamond sponsor, and then they're gonna make a custom Clemson National Championship ring, a fake one. Obviously, it's gonna be fool's gold. We both rock those rings to the wedding. Rock our Clemson ties. Say we're part of the program. We're in, Brent.
What's the results of getting kicked out of the wedding if they do find us that we shouldn't be there? Is that trespassing? Can we get arrested?
It's probably trespassing.
I don't even know what's trespassing.
I just asked you nicely to leave.
Yeah, I think so. But what is security going to do?
Imagine.
Hey, Brent, what is security going to do?
I don't know, but I'm putting on your new gloves.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I just imagine both of you there being like, yeah, we're related to the aunt Trevor.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, former teammate and coach, or former coach of Clemson. We're in.
Yeah.
Brent, you have that classic coaching vibe. It's not an insult. It's a good thing.
No, I mean, I think I could probably get away for a Cartersville head coach.
Well, I was going to say Clemson. Let's have some higher ambitions. No offense to Cartersville, but let's shoot for the stars a little more. Okay, let's be a Clemson
I think it'd be
coach.
harder to find. Let's Google if he's really on the Clemson staff.
Okay.
It's a little easier to do than it is at Cartersville, probably.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But you can't wear like a Cartersville pin. Like if you wear a Clemson pin, you're in. I guarantee you're in.
Yeah,
a little Clemson pin, and then we'll wear our national championship rings. We're good to go.
How do you? I mean, if you're, Kuz, you have a hard time like who to invite for the wedding and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, how hard of a time does the Lawrence family have figuring out who's coming to the wedding?
Yeah. It's gonna be a big. It's gotta be a big.
I mean,
wedding.
the kids are turning 16 in a couple of weeks. We're having a hard time figuring out how many kids should be there, or should anybody be there?
Are you guys doing a party? Yeah, you doing a little party or a little social distance party?
Yeah, we're not sure.
We
have been bad parents, man.
You gonna have the golf cart drive by for a bunch of 16-year-olds? You gonna do that? I'm sure they'd appreciate that and not be embarrassed.
The whole parade?
Yeah, the whole parade for a bunch of 16-year-olds.
That's a good idea, actually. I kind of forgot about that. That was the pandemic way.
Yeah, but that'd probably embarrass them a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
I'd be embarrassed.
They don't like a lot of that. So, although Kaylee probably liked that more than she lets on.
Okay.
Ty wouldn't be about it at all.
Yeah. See, I'm the same boat with Ty.
But, like, we are bad parents, like, in the sense of we really haven't had many parties for the kids' birthdays.
Yeah.
You know, we used to do just, like, a little, like, thing at the house or –
yeah.
We've done a lot of kickball games down on the baseball field.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's fun. I mean, it's just an easy way to do it.
Yeah.
But never like go to Dave and Buster's or go to the whatever used to be like rebounders, you know, the trampoline place.
Yeah, yeah.
We never really did a lot of that. So I've been kind of
just
racking
gave him a gift and said you could get a lot more of those coming down the pipeline, so don't get too excited.
Birthday, kid. I mean, relax. You know.
Yeah. Sure.
And so I kind of feel like this wouldn't be a bad one to celebrate a little bit more, but they're going to be 16.
Yeah, that's a big age, Brent.
They'll be 16. Yeah, but is it a big age if you don't get a keys?
Well, I was going to say, do we have cars lined up yet? What do you mean no?
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
What do you mean no?
They are not getting cars.
What?
They just got phones a year and a half ago.
They're going to Uber? What are you They're going to Uber? What's going on?
Yeah, it's called Mom.
Okay. All right, I got you. I mean, are you like a no-car family until they're like 19, 20? What are you talking about here?
Well, first of all, just to give you an update on this, and I know we're all over the place here, from Trevor Lawrence's wedding to the 16th birthday of Tyler and Kaylee.
These are the hard-hitting issues we got to address.
Kaylee, I think she started about a month later, so she's driven quite a bit. Okay. She likes to drive.
Sure.
But not all the time, but she's driven quite a bit. She does okay at it.
Okay.
But I don't think she's due to get her license because she didn't get her permit for like a month after her birthday. So she can't get it until like middle of May.
Yeah.
Well, Ty, we made him get his permit at some point in the summer.
Yeah.
He's
but you
driven
made
like
him. He didn't even care.
Around a parking lot.
That's insane to me.
Doesn't care.
That's so insane to me. Because like growing up when I was a kid, like, dude, once you turn 16, it's driver's license.
Yeah, I don't remember being overly excited about it, but I did it.
Yeah.
You know? And all the other kids seemed to be excited about it, or most of them.
Yeah.
Ty didn't care. Well, he said, we told him, like, when they got their permit, like, you're not getting a car. Like, and we might even not allow you to drive right away on your own because.
Can you describe, because once again, you keep bringing this up, and I don't understand why you won't get your kids cars.
Why should
Don't you want them to drive around and, like, you know, it's okay.
No.
I feel like it's part of being an adult. It's just a responsibility.
Well, it is. They're 16. They're not adults.
Well, yeah, but you know, it's a next step in responsibility.
And honestly, I kind of feel like they get their license too early.
Okay.
Like it's not this steadfast thing. I'm not going to like go, lobby against Congress for it. Yeah. Okay. But like, I just feel like it's way early. Like, I don't understand why they get their permit at 15 and get their license at 16.
Sure.
I think I think there are two dangerous things to give the kids: a phone and a car.
No, that's
and we
that's a good point.
All at the same time.
We didn't really have those growing up, so that's a good point.
And they live a mile from school. They go around a radius of like 3 miles. There's no reason for them to have a car. Like, if we lived 15 miles away from the school, I would see.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's just no reason for them to do it.
I guess when everything's localized, it's a little different than when.
And so Ty's he's very practical. And so when we told him, like, listen, we're not giving you a car, and you might not even have your actual license right away. He's like, well, then why am I getting my permit?
Yeah. No, I got you.
Why am I learning to drive? Yeah. So he's like, all right, fine. Just tell me when I can get the car. I'll start learning how to drive.
Did you get your car right when you turned 16, or did you wait? Like, were you excited?
On Rhode Island, I don't believe we could do it until we're 16 and a half.
Do you guys even have cars? I'm sure everything's localized. You just walk to everything.
No, I
from
actually
your house
did,
to school
because
to the
I
mall?
worked.
Okay.
And at that time, I don't know if it was right away, but I worked and I had to pay for my insurance and everything.
Yeah.
But I bought like my car off my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So they were getting a new one. It was a Subaru.
You bought the car off the parents?
Yeah.
I like that, man. Teaching the value of a buck.
And so it was a Subaru like station wagon.
Yeah.
And that's the one I had. And I honestly,
automatic or stick?
No, it was a stick.
I mean, let's go, Brent.
Yeah.
I see you, man.
I got taught how to drive on a stick.
I see you.
And so then I worked, but at one point, my senior year, I think I illegally moved like out of the area.
Yeah.
But I was going to finish my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't that far away, but I drove to school every day because of that.
Okay.
Because we had moved to the other city.
Yeah.
And so I finished off my senior year.
How many points off on your license? I mean, like on your license, but on your driver's test. How many points off?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, you don't remember that?
No, I have
That's
no
a
idea.
big-
All
that's a
I
big
remember
day.
is what I took my driver's test with my best friend Pat, and in Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
By the way, Brian Berard from Woonsocket.
Okay. Flex.
Hey, Bob Arablo coming on. He might know Brian Berard. He knows that name.
Okay.
Mount St. Charles hockey. But I took it, and so that's kind of a hilly place.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who took us, my buddy Pat, his dad's a cop. Okay, and so he must know the guy. And Pat makes like 2 turns, and he's got his test, and it's passed. Like that's what it
Just
felt
crushes
like.
it. Yeah.
Me, I have to go up this hill and do a 3-point turn on a hill with like this crazy grade to it.
It's not smart.
No, like
you,
a side
you never
street.
do that in real life.
It was like one of the hardest things to do.
That
I mean,
sounds
I did
illegal.
okay.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure you crushed it. I mean, if you're driving stick, I'm sure you crushed it. Kuz, how many points off of your driver's test?
The test to get the license or the actual driving part?
The driving test part.
I think I got flagged once because I was making a left turn back to the way we did. We had to drive around the school essentially, and so I was making a left turn back into the parking lot, and there was 2 cars.
Oh, you guys had it made just going around the school?
Well, we had to parallel park and do all that stuff too.
Oh, see, we have to parallel park.
But so there was 2 cars coming, and I waited for both of them to pass to turn.
Gotcha.
The driver or the person that was with me grading me told me I could have turned in between the 2 cars. I had enough time. And I'm like, seems dangerous, right? Like if it was questionable, don't you think I should just wait for both to go?
Yeah.
So he flagged me for that, but it wasn't enough to fail it.
Gotcha.
Well, I'd rather drive a Zamboni than a car anyway. So let's bring in Bob Arablo from the Jacksonville Icemen right now. Anyway, Bob, what's happening?
Hey, man, we might have some Zamboni drivers' jobs opening up at the new Iceman Igloo.
Yes, the Iceman Igloo announced today. How about that? The Sportsplex has been purchased, if I have this right, by the Iceman. $18.5 million renovation over the next 18 months or so. Hey, this is great stuff. What a big day for you guys.
It was awesome. We announced it this morning, and thanks to our investors, thanks to the city of Jacksonville, and, this is something we have been talking about for a while, and we've had several iterations of the plan. But we knew that we needed to have control over our own ice rink, so that we could really work hard at promoting youth sports, especially youth hockey and figure skating. And now we have that. It's going to take about 10 to 12 months to do all the renovations we want to do. We're adding a second sheet of ice to it, and we're moving forward and really looking forward to just again further cementing the Iceman and the city of Jacksonville's and the partnership we have here. We're not going anywhere. People, when I first bought the team here, people said to me, "How long are you going to last?" And I'm like, we're going to be here forever, longer than me. And with the local ownership, with the new lease that we signed last summer with the city, and now making this kind of commitment, we're going to be here forever, guys.
That's awesome.
Bob Arablo, president of the Jacksonville Icemen. So you're going to still play down at the arena, but practice and build a youth sports vehicle, if you will, at the Sportsplex, which will become the Iceman Igloo. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, the games, the Iceman games will still be at the arena. We've got basically a 10-year lease on the arena, and then our Iceplex will be for practice, but it'll also be for the youth sports, and it'll be for family skating too. With 2 rinks instead of 1. We're going to have a lot of room for a lot of different activities on the surfaces. We're also going to have an esports center in the building. We're going to have a nice a nice sports bar and grill as well. And then the Iceman headquarters is moving there. The offices and stuff will be working out of the Igloo.
Bob, when you mentioned youth hockey, obviously growing up in Wisconsin, I mean, every town that was available to kids out there, and it made a big difference, obviously, in my life because I grew up playing it. I feel like in the sense, and maybe I'm not just versed enough, I feel like in Jacksonville, like there's been a giant need for a youth hockey program. I haven't really heard a lot about it. There's been some great hockey players that have come out of Jacksonville, but not like that program to kind of grow the youth up. Was that kind of your goal? Did you take a look at the landscape and say, hey, we got to improve on this youth hockey program and get people excited about it?
Yeah, it's really two goals there. One is getting players at a high level, ready to play college, ready to play ECHL, ready to play AHL, NHL. We've had one player in Jacksonville's history that has made it to the NHL, Brian Ferner, whose career unfortunately was cut short with an injury, but he made it to the NHL. But it wasn't without a lot of sacrifice on the part of his parents, and that is, driving them to Tampa, driving them to Orlando. There's no reason why kids should not be able to play here in Jacksonville at a high level, and have to drive, 3, 4, 5 hours away. That's crazy. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is just to get kids who may not want to be, very competitive in terms of hockey, but want to play at a recreation basis. And we hear from those kids and those families all the time. They've been, my kid came to the game. How do I get them involved in playing? And again, with one ice sheet, the Jacks Ice people did the best they could, but there just wasn't enough time allocated to youth hockey, and that's what we're going to be working on. So we'll be working heavy on rec teams, on travel teams, maybe even a high school league, that kind of stuff to really ingrain hockey into the community.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. Bob Barabla with us, president of Jacksonville Icemen. I mean, Andy Kaufman, obviously owner of the Icemen, along with minority owners like Tim Tebow and Miles Jack and others. This is a big step, because it's more than just where the Icemen live. It's obviously going to grow hockey in the area. Then you add a little restaurant type of thing to it as well. I remember one of the early conversations we had, Bob, a few years back when you guys came to town with the Icemen, and you mentioned Tampa. And when you guys did this, and this announcement started to happen, and you guys bought the arena, and I saw that, and then this announcement today, I could think of that conversation where there's a bit of a blueprint, and maybe in other places too. But here in the state of Florida, Tampa did a very good job of this, right? Trying to grow the roots of hockey in Florida. And that's what I relate this to, is what the Lightning have been able to do over there.
Yeah, I'd like to say this is a Bob Arablo creation, but it's not. Actually, the Dallas Stars started it several years back when they first moved from Minnesota to Dallas. Get kids playing. And the Tampa Bay Lightning have done an incredible job taking every other NHL team to task with the way they've grown youth hockey. And, we'll be involved with them. They've already reached out to us. They want to bring the NHL Learn to Play program here and really help us and work with us. So, it's the way to kids that have moved here from up north. They want to play hockey. Kids that live here and were born and raised here, they want to play hockey. This is going to give them that opportunity to do that, and we're going to be very, very aggressively seeking these kids, and then setting them up for success at whatever level they want to get to.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a good thing, and I bet you have people calling you left and right saying, hey, where can we go play hockey? I want my kid. He wants to play hockey. Where can we go play it? Well, here's the place now that you'll be able to do it on a consistent basis, and it will only grow, and one of the fastest growing cities in the country, by the way, that's full of young talent and people moving from all over the place into Jacksonville. Hey, last thing, I know you guys are trying to make a run here, trying to play good hockey. You're on the road a bit. How did Lizard Kings night go? Was that as successful as you hoped it would be?
That was incredible. I wish we had the 8,500 seats because we would have filled every one of them. I mean, not only that, but we had auctions. We auctioned the jerseys off for charity, and we had people auctioning from all over the country for those jerseys. So that's something that we're going to make an annual event. I mean, we'll celebrate the history of hockey with the Lizard Kings here, and it was really cool. The Icemen went away for a night, and we became the Lizard Kings. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Hey, Bob, this is really cool stuff. You guys had a vision years ago, and you're acting that vision out. Congratulations on today. By the way, the Iceman Igloo sounds cool. That's a great name.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. And, Austin, I keep offering you an opportunity to play for the Icemen, but, I don't know, someday.
Hey, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and put up my skates back on for a couple weeks. Let me get my cardio back where it needs to be for playing hockey, and then we'll have a sit down and we'll talk about it.
Well, and my driving skills are fantastic with the Zamboni, so don't worry. I don't need any practice. Just hire me.
You know what, Brent? You talked about your driver's test. I will tell you that I grew up in Queens, in New York, and I failed my first driver's test. I cut off a city bus, I guess, while I was making a turn. And I still, to this day, do not remember the bus. And my dad, who was with me and took me to the site, said, well, I saw you cut off that bus. and he said, probably the fact that you don't remember it is the first problem you have in your driving. So it was another year. It was almost another year before I finally got my license. And I just made sure I watched out for the buses.
Can you imagine doing your driving test in New York?
Oh, that's insane.
I mean, that's
I can't imagine. But I guess if you do it in New York, you're versed everywhere else, so you feel comfortable.
We didn't do them in parking lots. We did them actually on the streets. And you didn't know when you left the car, you didn't know if you passed or failed. They'd send you a letter, like a week later. And I just remember that first one. I only had 4 points taken off, which, you were allowed 20. I had 4 taken off, but it was grounds for immediate failure, dangerous move. There was wording all over the paper and everything else. And I said, you know what? I don't need to drive. I'll take the subway and stuff. But about a year later, I went back and took it again and did very well. It was the second time. So.
The moral of the story there is don't cut off a bus on your driving test, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, congrats again.
My dad said, could you have a bigger target?
No. Hey, keep moving after that target here in town. You guys are doing a great job. Jacksonville Icemen won't be home for a couple more weeks, but they've got a new home at the Sportsplex as well with the Iceman Igloo coming up a year or so down the road. Congrats on a big day, man.
Well, I want to thank you and you both for all your support, too. This is going to be awesome. We're going to have a great end to the season here. We're still only halfway through the season, believe it or not. Our goal is to make the playoffs. We're making a nice run right now. And, got this long road trip. And then we're back at home next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, against the dreaded Florida Everblades.
All right. We'll be ready for it. Have a good night. We appreciate you checking in, and drive safe.
Take care, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bob.
That's Bob Rob. I think that's really cool what they're doing. That's going to be a neat thing. And
I know my son's going to be excited.
Again, I remember we had him on, and he talked about the Lightning and how they've done that youth program. And this is less about the Iceman, so to speak. It's the brand of the Iceman that's helping it out, but growing it at the youth levels. And listen, we've seen sports all over. I mean, lacrosse. I mean, Ponte Vedra's got one of the best lacrosse teams in the country.
Yes.
You can. There's talent here, and they'll find their way to that rink.
Yep.
And before you know it. It won't just be Brian Furlan who's playing in the NHL. I mean, it's just the way it is.
And I just saw him 2 weeks ago. We tried the same MMA gym, so we actually became friends. So I just saw him a little while ago.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
We had him on before.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yep. Don't let him knock you out now. I mean, those hockey guys like to fight.
Oh, I know, man.
But he wasn't really an enforcer, was he?
No, he's a speed guy. Yeah. He understands. No, but he's good. He's good.
Shock your mock time coming up, plus a little bit more on Fields and Mac Jones. And I mean, are these quarterbacks really having this good a pro day, or are we being a little over dramatic? We'll be very dramatic and shock your mock next on ESPN 690.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Scattered showers, perhaps a thunderstorm today. It will be warmer and otherwise partly to mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 70s, dropping only into the low to mid 60s tonight. Join me beginning at p.m. for CBS47 30 Action News Jacksonville. I'm TV meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0-interest financing with nothing down.
Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hey, boss, check this out. You're never home alone and you're never away from home with Safe Touch.
What now? Never home alone. Now that one I get. It's because of the two-way communicator.
Yup. Any emergency and you're talking with the operator in seconds.
Right. Never home alone. Yeah, but what about this never away from home thing?
See, with Safe Touch's smart home automation, you can control your house from anywhere.
What, is it that smartphone thingy again?
Yeah, with the Safe Touch app, you can check your camera feeds, turn on the lights, drop the AC down, lock the doors. Boss, it's like you're there.
Never away from home. Never home alone, never away from home. This changes nothing. I still hate Safe Touch, and we still gotta stick to the Crooks or Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. I need an aspirin.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Life is complicated. We all know it, and all can use the proper support system. You know what else can be complicated? Owning a home. And that's why Rex was built to go beyond the simple real estate transaction. Full-service agents for buying and selling, mortgage services, insurance quotes, escrow and title, even home repair, all one call away. I guess you could call Rex your home support system and not a typical brokerage. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. Want more? Of course you do. With all that convenience comes reduced fees too. In fact, the average Rex homeowner saves over $10,000 when buying and selling a home. Want to get started? It's never too soon. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. 833-739-4663. Florida license number CQ1057788. For further licensing disclosures, please visit rexhomes.com.
Have you seen it? The all-new showroom at Arlington Toyota is open, and they're ready to celebrate with big savings, even on pre-owned. Celebrate savings and hearing the words, "You're approved." That's right. With Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. Plus, if you want selection, Arlington's got it. With over 400 pre-owned on the lot, what are you waiting for? Celebrate with savings and come see the brand new facility at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, it is not your fault. Hubbard House is here for you. You are not alone. Hubbard House provides free services and emergency shelter to survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties. Call 904-354-3114 anytime, 24/7 to confidentially speak to a caring advocate.
Mom, can we have some ice cream?
I've got a better idea. Who wants to help me make something fun and healthy instead?
Eating smarter is easy and delicious. Interested in receiving healthy recipes and a whole lot more in your email? Then register at healthiestweightfl.com and learn more about all the small steps that you can take on the way to living healthy. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now: Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 200 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week.
Watch Tanika Hughes and John Bachman on Action News Jax at 5, 6, and 11.
We make it a point to cover important local news you need to know about.
Perspective is important. It's not just what happened, it's the reason why it happened and how that impacts you.
Plus, it's where you'll find the Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Weather is always changing, and my forecast will help you plan your day and week ahead.
Watch and you'll see why CBS47 and FOX30 is local coverage you can count on.
For families worried about making ends meet, we are here. For those struggling with depression, we are here. We're also here to protect kids in crisis, assist students, and help our seniors. We're Jewish Family and Community Services, and we've been here offering support to people of every age, race, and religion for more than a century. Jewish Family and Community Services, here for all. Here for Jax. Learn more at hereforjax.com.
Hey, it's Goose from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jax.
Brent Martineau.
But, man, when you hit, what is that button you used to hit, like the X button to accelerate?
Austin Lane.
I haven't played Madden in like 10 years. Sorry we let you down there.
That was a major letdown.
Yeah.
I mean,
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Whatever they teach in terms of a scheme, he's going to pick that up very, very quickly. And he's very, very competitive. So when you combine the talent, the size, the arm strength, his competitiveness, his toughness, his intelligence, I mean, it kind of checks all the boxes. And if you were trying to design a quarterback, to me, Justin fits that prototype.
Justin Fields.
Yep.
I think Justin Fields is going to be good. I think the narrative the last couple of months is now all of a sudden Justin Fields not going to be good. Mm-hmm. I understand you're concerned about his bad, but I don't even think. I mean, do you think he's going to be a good player in the NFL, or are you that concerned about the bad that makes you think he's just not that good?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think he's going to be good because unlike Dwayne Haskins, he's going to have his legs that buy him some time and help him out a little bit. So I think he's going to be good. Where he ranks within, the pantheon of this draft class, you know how I feel about Trey Lance. Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be the fourth best quarterback out of this draft class, like in the next couple of years. I think Zach Wilson's ahead of him. I think Trey Lance is ahead of him. I think obviously Trevor Lawrence is ahead of him as well.
Take this for what it's worth. He ran a 4.44 40.
Fast.
Fastest one since RG3 ran a 4.41 in 2012. Fastest one since 2006 for a quarterback to go in the first round.
Yeah.
So
now, at the pro day, just keep in mind.
Downhill.
Not
in Happy Valley, but Buckeyes are waiting at the finish line.
38-yard dash. Did I tell that story real quick at Murray State? So my junior year, like during the spring ball, like we had, like the last thing we did was we did testing, right? And then we did testing that would go to the season. So when we did this, we had our 40-yard dash set up. And needless to say, the 40-yard dash was actually a 39-yard dash. So when we ran a 39-yard dash, like I run it, I feel great. I'm all creatined out. And by the way, that's legal. It's a thing. But I'm turn your microphone. But I'm all I'm all creatined out and everything. And all of a sudden I get to the end and the coach goes 4.57, and I'm like, do I just forego my senior year and do I just go to the league right now? Well, come to find out, it was like a 38 to 39-yard dash. So, yeah, take it for what you want.
Why did they tell you that part? They shouldn't have told you.
I know, man. But
can you imagine? Can you imagine if it's 4.57, you go to the combine or whatever, and you run like a 4.7? I'm like, what happened?
No, they didn't tell us until literally, Brent. Not exaggerating. They didn't tell us till months and months later.
Oh, so that's what you thought you ran?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude.
Like, how did I get so slow?
Because it was even on I forgot what website it was. It's like draftscout.com because the coaches told them. So Austin Lane 4.57. I'm like,
phone was ringing.
I get to that combine, that 4.8 comes up. I'm like, okay, never mind. We're all good.
It's a good way to get the phone ringing.
Yeah, it is, man. You tell him. Well, why do you think? I mean, I had a lot of visitors.
Just to let you know.
Yeah.
In 2010, if you're in a 4.57 on your position, I mean, even now, if you're in a 4.57, but again, it's like, guys have gotten so much faster in the last decade because of the specialty training for it. The athletes are better every year anyway, but the specialty training for that testing, has gotten so ramped up.
Well, and it's funny. I actually had this conversation with Reggie Northrup, who is an MMA fighter as well, played at Florida State, spent some time with the Rams. But even when he came out compared to when I came out, so when I came out, the 4-3 defensive ends, which I played, they were all 280 pounds at least. I had to put on weight after college to try to, fit the mold of a 4-3 defensive end. But even weighing 270, 280 wasn't out of the realm of possibility in playing a 3-4 outside linebacker. because I remember at the combine I did linebacker drills as well.
Wow.
Like, it's crazy how far, like, you're not going to see too many 280-pound outside linebackers anymore.
No.
You know, I'm saying like 240, 230. So it's crazy how just over, let's say a decade or so, it's completely changed about how we perceive what a defensive end or outside linebacker looks like and how much they weigh.
If you had, just real quick question here, if you had, so what were you when you came out? How big?
I think I was 276.
You were 276 when you came out of Murray State.
At the combine, well, I mean, at the combine I was. When I came out of Murray State, I was about probably 265, and then I put on about 10 pounds.
Okay, so let's say you played at 260, or you came out today and you were 260.
Yeah.
Because you're 245 now.
Correct.
But obviously you would have been a little bigger, right?
Beefier. No, go on and say beefier. I like that. Yeah, beefier.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, after all those natty lights in college and stuff.
Hey, a little respect. Miller Lights, all right? Once again, it was the public Ivy League. We're drinking Miller Lights. We have some kind of class.
So say you're 260.
Yeah.
You come out, and it's today's NFL.
Yes.
And you play at 260 because you're allowed to play at 260. Are you
dropping weight?
Or you would even drop weight?
I drop weight to about, I'd probably weigh like around 250, 255. Yeah,
okay,
I would drop.
Do you think about like, okay, I would have been way more productive at that weight in today's game?
Oh, when I look back on my career, because like the telling factor for me was when I got to Chicago, because Chicago, they had, and I think every team was doing this at the time back in, would have been 2013, 14, where it was like your optimal body weight. So like, remember, I went to Kansas City, I was 280 pounds, right? Didn't feel good weighing 280 pounds. Now, it was...
You were a little chubby.
I was chubby, man. I was a porker, okay?
Wouldn't have made weight.
Yeah, I mean, hey, me and Andy Reid hanging out Fast Food Fridays, having the time of our lives, dude. I mean, we're cheersing potato wedges and mozzarella sticks.
I was a porker.
Yeah, I was a porker. So... when I get to Chicago, though, and like I was slated to play outside linebackers, I actually had to drop a little weight, and I talked to like this body mass index specialist. Like that was their only job, Brent. Like they grew up one day when they were like 5 or 6 years old and said, I want to be a body mass index specialist.
BMI specialist.
One day. And like,
do you mean BMX? No, BMI.
No, BMI. I'm so concerned with body fat percentages. And I sat down with him, and like I kind of told him about my career. He's like, dude, you are doing yourself such a disservice weighing over 260 pounds. He went, your optimum body weight for what you want to do is 250 to 255. Everything else is excess, and everything else is only going to slow you down, and it's going to put stress and weight on your joints. And obviously, everybody's built differently. Some people can carry weight better than others, and just the way that I was built and crafted, 250 was kind of like the sweet spot.
You seriously would have been, and all kidding aside, you would have been better off being drafted by Dave Caldwell, Gus Bradley 4 years later.
Heck yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But once again, it was a different time then where I had to gain weight because that's what they're looking for in defensive end. So I had to abide by that.
Was it Seattle and Gus's defense that kind of changed the body type because of that Leo position? I know everybody around here hates the Leo position, but I mean, did they kind of...
You know what? I think it was a little bit of that. I think Von Miller had a lot to do with it because I remember like the big thing about...
the same time.
The big thing about Von Miller was he was quote-unquote undersized.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you saw a guy that played with speed and that played with leverage that's like, okay, maybe these guys don't have to weigh 270 pounds to be successful at rushing the quarterback and even maybe stopping the run.
Yeah.
So I felt like as the body types kind of progressed to more smaller, faster guys, well, the game obviously got faster as well because you have to keep up with the fast offenses.
Oh, obviously. All right, Kuz, let's hit it, man. It's Shock Your Mock time.
Let's get it.
He is none other than the Shock Master!
Gonna shock yo mock. We're gonna shock yo mock.
Brutality, don't you think?
Shocking. Gonna shock yo mock. We're gonna shock yo mock.
Shocking upset.
I feel shocked. Shock yo mock. We're gonna shock yo mock.
I am shocked. I am shocked. That's what I mean. I am.
How are we doing?
So many days, so many mocks to shock here, Brent. And this is actually a Justin Kuzart special.
It's a grammar.
Because apparently this is an Instagram. Is this a DM?
It was.
Kuz?
Oh, it was a.
This is an aggressive Instagrammer.
Yeah. Like, viewer discretion is advised, perhaps?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Pulled out all the stops because on our ESPN Instagram account, probably over 40 or 50 notifications. On my personal Instagram account probably over like 15 to 20 notifications.
He better be listening today.
Well, I'm sorry, first of all, because it's my fault, because I don't have Instagram. Well, I don't have Instagram, so.
But at the end of the day, it's like, that made my account
Well,
look like it was.
I'll tell you that later.
Yeah, I bet.
You know,
I know what's going on. I can't wait.
Hey, wait till my reaction to it. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, so Kuz, this guy's name, and he's got this apostrophe in it, which you know how I feel about apostrophes sometimes. Jack Plache? Plache?
Oh, dude, don't ask me.
Plache.
Just say Jack.
It's right here. Brent, if you go on the Shock Your Mock screen and help us out, that would be fantastic. This is a team effort.
I would say Plache.
Jack Plache?
Yeah, very nice.
Okay, Jack Plache.
Jack Plache.
All right, so Jack Plache slid in Kuz's DMs, liked everything, really wants his attention out there, and that's fine. But you know how I feel about this, Brent. If you're going to go out of your way to try to get our attention and Shock Your Mock, you better bring the goods. All right? You better bring the A-plus report card. Because if you don't, like I said in the group text, guys, it's going to be Shock Your Restraining Order because we're a little worried right now. Plache, if that's a real name. Sounds like a made-up name. Jack Plache, like Jack is American. Plache, not so much. Are you buying this?
It should really be.
Buying this?
Maybe it's really Jacques Plache.
Oh, Jacques Plache. So maybe more hockey's this. I'm just kidding. That's not stereotyping, but maybe hockey's more of it. Maybe it's just Shock Your NHL mock.
Stereotype.
Okay, well, I don't want to offend anybody.
I mean, he either plays hockey or owns a bistro. Is that what you're going to get to?
You said it. That's Brent. That's at Brent Ants Jackson, not me. Kuz, real quick. Any background on this guy? Do we know his story? Did you look him up?
Oh no, but I can if you want me to. I
real
can do
quick.
A
just real quick.
Type.
Yeah, because
just real quick.
That Twitter handle bio.
Yeah, just real quick here.
I mean, I think we've already done a deep dive
Watch
into
him
his
be
name.
private too. Watch him be off the grid. Probably a Jets fan. What do we got, Kuz? Anything?
So Jack Plache, is that what we decided on?
Yeah, whatever, huh?
No, he was down over Riverside on November 8th, 2020.
Okay.
So
okay, sounds good.
Second photo at TIAA Bank Field on the Jaguar statue.
Okay,
so want to go on that thing?
Well, I think that's a little discouraging.
Hey, we don't snitch on Shock Your Mock, okay? Just breeze past
Just don't wear the shirt next time on the statue.
All right, Kuz, one last question. Let's get this mock draft underway. In this message that he sent us here, that's on the screen right now.
Yes.
That has taken over the ESPN690 stream for the fifth logo that we've picked in the past month. But what is this part where he says your something is grass?
He's talking about golf, and he says your ass is grass, essentially.
Okay, Brent said it. I guess we can just swear now on this show. That's cool.
He says, he says, Brent, name the course and give me a tee time. Okay, he wants to play golf with you.
Oh, really? And he
Call him a restraining order?
He said he's going to beat you at golf.
Okay.
No, he said my ass is grass.
Okay. Well, that's a threat.
I know.
Don't look at me. This is your battle, not mine. He ain't threatened me. I'm just saying
where is this coming from? This was Instagram?
Instagram. He DM'd us.
I am on Instagram.
So this guy's trying to fight you. So that's great. Okay, so keep that in mind. So we want to give out T-shirts and be nice to everyone's draft. Remember this. This guy wants to fight you. Kuz, you ready?
I want to fight. Just a golf competition.
Well, Brent, you said that your A word is grass. So I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want the show. Brent
I think
does.
you should take more exception with this mock could go along with a Minshew trade, the best available offer, probably a fourth for Gardner Minshew, a fourth.
Godspeed, Gardner. I like the optimism.
Yeah, me
maybe,
too.
Maybe a little
like
sunshine and rainbows. Maybe a little sunshine and rainbows. Brent.
All right, break
He's been
this
listening.
thing down.
Kuz, we got it up there.
Mad. We're gonna have to go to break soon.
Let's get a thumbs up. Is it up right now? All right, cool. Well, despite being a Gardner Minshew fan, he's got Trevor Lawrence going #1. We like that a lot. And by the way, he used, you know what he used, Brent? He used that Pro Football Focus mock draft. And you know who that's powered by?
Like ASM or ASW or
hey, man.
ASMR?
Hey, dude. Careful now how we no. It's AWS.
Oh, AWS.
Okay. AWS. Okay. Let's not screw up this endorsement for me.
Now I really want you to have to do an ASMR Shock Your Mock review tomorrow.
Oh, I can do it right now. Okay, do it tomorrow. Stay tuned for tomorrow.
Like music and stuff.
Shock Your Mock ASMR tomorrow. Okay. Anyways, though, we got Kadarius Toney, first round pick number 25, wide receiver out of Florida. You know, do you think Kadarius Toney's gonna be a first round pick? First of all, or do you think he drops? Because you've been hearing first round, but I want the Brent Martineau expertise here.
Yeah, I've seen him all over the place. I've seen him from number like 19 or 20 all the way back to like 35, which would get early. I think he does go late first round, yeah. I think he's going to go between like 24 and 32, yeah.
Listen, I'm not mad at him. Urban loves speed. Urban could love a gadget guy. If Kadarius Toney's that guy, you know what? I'm going to be nice here. Jack Plache. I'm not mad at it.
Jacques
It's J-A-C-K. It's just spelled.
It's just
yells
better.
Jack.
Doesn't it feel great to say Jacques Blanchet?
That is pretty cool. Jacques Blanchet.
My first job, I worked with a guy, Jacques Doucet.
Maybe I should do this in a French accent the whole time. So he takes Pat Fryermuth number. By the way, Pat Fryermuth, I mean, every mock draft basically, right? It is what it is, or Brevin Jordan. And I understand that. So I have no ill will towards the Pat Fryermuth pick. So guess what, Brent? Right now we're 3 for 3. Okay? I think in hockey where Jacques is from, they call that a hat trick. Where I'm from. I'm not from there, but I played hockey. I know what's going on. I mean, Bob's asked me to play for the Icemen, so I'm kind of a big deal. Richie Grant, pick number 45.
My last name's it's French, and I'm a Zamboni driver, so there we go.
There's a lot of Frenchness going on right now, and I appreciate it. Pick number 45, Richie Grant out of UCF. We talked about him a lot. On Coos, we got a draft need alert. Safety off the board. I like it. Okay?
Very good.
Do we dare go 4 for 4? And Richie Grant, I'm not sure if he comes in right away as a day one starter, but you got to add depth. You got to add competition at the safety spot. So far, I'm not mad at this. Now, PFF, obviously powered by AWS, has issues giving out C+ for Kadarius Toney, giving out C+ for Richie Grant. That's not my job to break that down. It is what it is. Najee Harris at pick 65. Your eyes lit up.
That'd be tremendous value.
It's tremendous value. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the AS.
That's one of the problems with the mock drafts. Is that guys slide all the way down. Yeah. Like, there's no way Najee Harris getting a 65. And
there's no way AWS is going to put their name on this. They know better. There's no way Najee Harris slips this far. But even if he did,
AWS goes B+ at getting Najee Harris at 65.
They didn't say that. It was PFF that said, Brent, AWS powers this. Okay, they're not responsible for getting out the grades. You are so messing up my endorsement right now. But with that being said, Najee Harris, I think that we don't give James Robinson enough credit. I think James Robinson is the unspoken hero of this Jacksonville Jaguars team.
But can he carry the freight all by himself again?
I like that phrase, carry the freight. That's new. That's going to be a T-shirt.
My dad
carry
worked
the freight.
in the trucking business.
Dude, I like that carry the freight thing. I mean, forget shock your mock. We got something with carry your freight. I don't know. Let's brainstorm that for later. I think he can, Brent. I think he's shown that he can. I think the way that he runs, I think just, his story and everything that I've heard about the guy, he can be that dependable guy, right? And I think if you bring Najee Harrison, he's a great running back in his own right. One of the best running backs come out of Alabama who's had some great running backs. But at the same time, I would rather see a third down guy who's a little more suited in terms of speed, in terms of slashing ability out of the backfield, right? As in like a thunder and lightning combination.
So you're a little concerned that Harris, you're going to have to be forced to play, and then you don't know who you're playing.
Yeah, and then
right?
it's kind of like the thunder and thunder a little bit.
I mean, that's where Hyde comes in a little bit right now because there's no pressure to play Hyde.
Sure.
But in case something happens, at least you have a guy who's been able to do it. He's proven it. Yeah, I mean, he's proven he can sleep a little bit too.
There it is. I was waiting for that one.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why you have a guy that's a backup.
Yeah.
Like, if you get Najee Harris, you don't really view him as a backup, but get him in the game, right?
Shock your mock and lied from Hyde. Yeah, it is what it is. Lied to my boy Brent Martineau. It is what it is, though, man. Let's keep it rolling here. So Hunter Long, Boston College. What are we doing now, though? Right? Because now we're going after another tight end, and I get it. If Hunter Long's there, there's some, there's some people saying that he could be a suitable guy in the league. I don't like this pick right here, though. I don't like this pick and I'm not sure when this draft came out, so obviously the Tyson Alualu thing probably not taken into account, but I don't like the fact that we haven't addressed interior defensive line or outside linebackers, right? There's still a depth need there from both positions, regardless if he did this before Tyson or after Tyson chose he's not going to come to Jacksonville. Then pick 130, then we're off the rails, okay? And now I got an issue. I got an issue with ProFootballFocus.com giving this pick an A+.
A+.
An A+. Perfect. A 97 to 100%, depending where you're coming from. That's how we did it back in Iowa, Scandinavia. 97 to 100%. A+. An A+ on Kellen Mond. I have Texas A&M.
We just got C.J. Beathard.
Now, yeah. And by the way, I'm sorry, is this guy a Gardner Minshew fan or not? I could have sworn he just said we get a 4th-round pick for him. So
he did say this assumes that we trade.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I didn't really do my due diligence there. I immediately shocked this guy.
You went to Godspeed Gardner.
Yeah, but regardless, though, we have Jake Luton, right? And now we have C.J. Beathard. I don't like this, Brent. I don't like bringing in another guy at pick 130. And we don't going to say, well, we need to pick 130 or pick 152 like I was. That's a crapshoot. But every once in a while, you get Telvin Smiths. Every once in a while, you get contributors like Austin Lane that come in and actually make a difference for a little part.
Yeah.
And stopping the run.
I agree.
And stopping the run. And,
excellent.
And sometimes you sack Drew Brees one time.
And a
that's
huge
your
impact on the community.
Yeah, I mean, the beach bars maybe made it through.
Bought ice cream
everything.
for people.
I did buy ice cream for people. Thank you very much. So, Kellen Mond, I don't like it. Does absolutely nothing for you. He may never see the field. And I'll be honest with you, I know that the Senior Bowl, he played a great game. But to me, Kellen Mond was a big disappointment this year in college football. And we don't need him on the team. So, no to Kellen Mond. Brady Christensen, tackle BYU. Why not? Pick 170. We go back to the Grant Delpit of the year. And listen, this guy could be the next Aaron Donald as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not going to learn how to pronounce this guy's name at pick 170.
By a vowel.
By a vowel. Do you want to take a stab at this one? You're the professional here. Kuz, you want to try this one out?
Odatakumbo Ogajahi.
Okay. I can't stress this enough.
That's close.
I have to learn 13, well, I guess, 11 free agents now because Tyson's not coming?
At least there's an edge.
Is it? Yeah. Well, yeah, at least there's an edge, but listen, not a great edge because I'm going to lose my edge trying to pronounce the name. Okay? I got 12 or 13, depending what Tyson, whatever it comes out to. I got to pronounce a lot of names for free agents, okay? I got Marvin Jones. Thank you, Marvin. I got Carlos Hyde. Heard of you before. And that's about it, man. I forgot everybody else, right? So there's a guy from Chicago who I'm drawing
Robertson
a blank.
Harris. He tricked you with a couple of names.
Well, because the hyphen. The hyphen. I'm anti-hyphen. I'm anti-apostrophe
Rudy
in
Ford.
Poche, and I'm anti-hyphen in Robertson Harris. With all due respect to him, he's a big MMA guy. He can throw a punch. I've seen him throw a punch. I don't want to offend him too much. I'm not going to learn how to pronounce this guy's name. So while Pro Football Focus gives it a B+, D. Because I can't pronounce his name.
We'll have to call Mike Tirico on that one.
Thank you very much.
The Notre Dame pronunciation.
now we're talking. And let's finish the draft off here with Trey Norwood.
That's fine.
So overall, what do we learn, everybody? Let's not take a quarterback when we have Trevor Lawrence and Jake Luton and C.J. Beathard. So get Kellen Mond out of here. Let's take it a little easy on the tight end position. I get it's a need, and we addressed it, but now we're getting a little crazy with it. Let's not have guys that I can't pronounce in the names. And by the way, let's not go after us 25 times asking you to shock your mock when, I'll be honest with you, I've seen better mocks, Brent. Have you seen better mocks?
I've seen better mocks.
This did not, I mean, I'm glad we did this dude's mock so he's happy now, but sir, the constant attention on Instagram for this, for maybe a C+ mock overall, Jacques Boucher, stick with hockey, dude. I'm not feeling this one.
And by the way, Jacques Boucher.
Yeah.
Your ass is grass on the golf course.
And Brent's
Name
calling
the
you
tee
out.
time.
And Brent's calling you out. I like that. I'm not coming, by the way. You're going to be on your own.
On my own. I got golf clubs.
Yeah, but I understand.
I don't need your weapons as hands.
I understand how you talk a big game, though, when I'm around. Like, you're calling out Sean Payton before from the Saints that one time and everything.
I could take Payton.
And the New York, you say that again?
I could take Payton.
That's going to be the soundbite for tomorrow. I'm going to put that on Twitter right after the show. I can't wait to spread
And
this
I could
one
take
around.
just about anybody with a golf club in my hand.
Okay, what about the New York media?
Probably not.
No?
I need a little help.
Yeah? You think they fight
Just
dirty
in
or what?
masses. There's so many
I
of them.
know, there's a lot of those in New York. Yeah, I know. Okay, well, well say it.
We're way up against
your mock's been shocked.
Your
That's
mock
key
has
phrase.
been shocked.
There it
Jacques
is.
Boucher. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
I'm Jake Mitchell. The state of Texas will be well represented in the Final Four with the Cougars from Houston and the Bears from Baylor punching their tickets last night. Now that Houston has made the Final Four, guard Quentin Grimes wants to know if the finally get some respect.
I definitely feel like I did, just knowing just everything I went through, just knowing everything the team has went through together, and just persevering through everything. People are counting us out the whole year, and we just stayed with it. We did our thing, went out there, and now we're going to the Final Four, baby.
The conclusion of the Elite Eight is tonight with USC versus Gonzaga and UCLA versus Michigan. Trevor Lawrence is the presumed number 1 overall pick for the NFL draft next month, but he will not attend the draft taking place in Cleveland. He's going to stay in Clemson with some family members and friends, and then he'll probably get on a plane to Jacksonville. Sports Center Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game. And now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
It's time for some straight talk. Your tax return could look different this year, but you're still going to hear a lot of noise about how to spend it. So when the big carriers tell you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense and tune in to Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Mirabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Voted best wings in St. Augustine as well. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Mirabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles, from complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
I'm craving adventure.
Thought we decided not to take a vacation this year.
I was thinking about a trip to Total Wine. Let's fling into spring. They have thousands of wines, spirits, and beers to explore. We can mix up cocktails with tequilas and fruit-flavored vodkas, Chardonnays, Rosés, Pinots, Proseccos. So many choices.
Oh yeah, a trip to Total Wine is totally worth it.
Wondrous selection, helpful guides, always low prices. Total Wine and more. Drink responsibly, B21.
There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
Hello, you have reached the Crooks or Us training helpline. Today we're explaining the term verified alarm to all you newbies out there.
Oh, boss, I can explain that. A verified alarm just means that whatever caused the security system alarm to go off has been verified.
Correct. And what alarm company is known for providing the fastest verified alarms?
SafeTouch Security.
Exactly, because SafeTouch has the two-way communicator, which leads to alarm verification within seconds.
And alarm verification is very bad for us crooks.
Yeah, unlike a non-verified alarm that police label a low priority.
Like right below getting Grandma's cat out of a tree low.
So, to sum up, verified alarms. Just one more reason we crooks have the golden rule, stay away from SafeTouch houses. Remember that, and you'll be fine.
Here, kitty, kitty.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Love is not supposed to hurt. Domestic violence is about power and control. It's a choice made by the abuser. COVID-19 may have separated us, but we're here to help. If you know of someone who needs to talk, please call the Florida Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-500-1119. Trained advocates are available to provide support. This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Department of Children and Families, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Quarterback is solely dependent on the things around you. So whether you're Zach Wilson and people are suggesting that your ceiling is Patrick Mahomes, or you're Mac Jones and your ceiling is Matt Ryan, or whoever you are, this is going to be determined by where they go and how they're handled. It's it. It's as simple as that.
Mike Greenberg, ESPN. You listen to him right here on ESPN 690 on a daily basis. We appreciate you listening to us. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. 5 o'clock hour, football at 5. A lot of football to talk about. Shock Your Mock was fun once again. Don't forget, send in Shock Your Mock now. Hashtag Shock Your Mock on Twitter, YouTube. Stalk us on Instagram.
The DMs, just not mine.
Whatever you think.
Just go ahead and slide in the Koozes if you want.
Whatever you think.
He'll be glad to welcome you.
And get a T-shirt, most likely.
Yeah, maybe.
Most people.
Have we given out a T-shirt yet?
Well, I haven't sent them yet.
Okay.
I do have to do that. So
That's
your T-shirt,
fine.
I'll be reaching out to you. I'm just so you know, I'm the mailing department too here at Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
That we promised T-shirts. We only have one here, and it's just the model one. No one's actually getting a T-shirt. Everybody, we just lied about that.
Yes. No, we want the T-shirt.
Yeah,
I want
of
you to
course.
get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Listen, you are getting a T-shirt because I don't want 40 of them. At my house.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you.
I mean, there are only 5 days in a week.
True. Well, I mean, and they're super aggressive. So like, I mean, I don't know. Would we wear these shirts? Like, would you wear it? I mean, no disrespect to you.
I have a hard time wearing my own.
I love the
face.
logo, but it's weird, right? When you wear your own face.
Yeah.
I think it's a great logo. But
the whole thing's just kind of fun. I wonder that sometimes, right? But it's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, I've never. You know who wears our hat?
Who's that?
I love him for it too, because like I don't, but Marcel.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
Marcel
him,
wears the hat all the time.
I had a bunch of friends that wear the hat. They're like, yeah, they like it. It's like, it's...
But people wanted the hat. Like, the hat's a fun thing. Like, the hat was fun.
It is.
But
it's
I've
weird
never
because
worn the hat. Like, that's my point.
Professional wrestlers wear their own shirts all the time, right?
I know.
Maybe we got to get into that business.
Everybody does that. Tiger Woods wears his own stuff all the time.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it's just, why is that? Like, what
weird.
point do you have to get to where it's okay to wear your own stuff?
It's a good call.
Like, where is it that, like,
I mean,
it's kind of like goofy if you're wearing your own stuff.
Yeah. Because, like, we obviously never gave Jordan anything for wearing Jordans because, wow. Like,
We're in a world of branding.
We are.
So if I wore our logo, like, on a daily basis.
Like, maybe people wouldn't bat an eye at it. But like, I would be like,
it feels a
dang,
little
man.
odd.
It does. It does. I don't know. That's a great question.
I'm going to go to, like, Ty and Kaylee's softball game or baseball game, whatever, and I'm going to wear this shirt.
Try to gauge reactions a little bit.
Try to get the reaction.
Yeah, gauge the reaction, see where we're at. You have to test it first.
And they'll be like,
Field test.
Really?
Yeah, field test it. That's a good question, though. Like, when is it cool to wear your own logo and when is it not?
Like, how big do you have to get?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Like football guys, do they wear, like, Tom Brady wears his own stuff all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, golfers wear it all the time. Roger Federer wears his own logo all the time. But they're not wearing like a picture of themselves.
True.
You know, it's more of a logo.
They're not wearing a giant bulbous head of themselves.
Yeah. Well,
that's a good
working
point.
on the logo.
No, we are working on the logo.
We would need a logo without our faces.
Yeah, and then maybe we'd rock it.
And then we can rock it.
Yep, fair enough.
All right?
Yeah, it's the picture. Yep.
There we go.
You're right.
Meanwhile, you all can wear the picture as much as you
rock
want.
the picture, please. Yeah.
But you got to send in Shock Your Mock.
Yep.
I believe Justin Fields going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I also believe this talk coming out of Ohio State Pro Day, I'm a little over the Pro Day talk.
Have you checked the comments out in the stream a little bit? Or the ESPN690 chat. We have, did he delete it? Oh, no, right here. Matt Jones. And maybe Matt Jones is trolling a little bit. I don't think so, because he said Mac Jones is going to be Gardner Minshew 2.0. Jaguars need to draft Fields. He's got a rocket arm.
Okay. Listen, we can end that. The Jags aren't drafting Fields. But are these guys really putting on this kind of show? We've seen quarterbacks throw at pro days forever. We've seen quarterbacks with big arms for a long time.
They're supposed to benefit from this pro day. Like, it's supposed to make them look good.
Are we just that? Are the national folks right now and all of us thirsty because we didn't have a combine? We didn't have a lot of the offseason stuff that we've had over the last year. And so we're like, oh, my gosh, a guy throwing a football in March.
Yeah, no, we absolutely are.
I've never seen anything like it.
We absolutely are. Like, that's where we are right now from a sports culture, where it's like any little clicks and whistles that they can pull off in a pro day, we're going to celebrate it, especially from the quarterback position. Now, listen, and regardless if he's running downhill or not, like a 4.4 is an impressive time.
Yeah, it is for quarterback.
You should be impressive. You should be impressed by that. But, like, the whole Zach Wilson throw at the end that everyone was,
obviously Trevor's throw,
salivating over essentially. And then now, like, with Justin Fields and, I think Mac Jones as well a little bit, but people are the overthrows. I remember when Johnny Manziel did his pro day. And you remember what made his so unique? You remember what he did? He wore pads. Like, he wore shoulder pads, a complete, like, outfit, like a uniform.
Yeah.
Just to kind of
Which
prove
actually
that.
makes some sense.
It does make sense. It definitely makes sense because it's a little more realistic, right? But, like, I remember people were gawking over Johnny Manziel, like, whoa, this guy wears shoulder pads. And, like, I think he had two, incompletions the entire time. And one was off Mike Evans' hands that he should have caught, but Mike Evans dropped it because, sometimes Mike Evans can do that when he's your fantasy wide receiver. It's all good, though. Like, that happens. But people were, like, in awe of what Johnny Manziel did because it was different. We never saw a guy wear shoulder pads before in a pro day workout, Brent. And, like, that was a big deal. And, like, that was the big thing. It's just the fact that we're football junkies. We talk about it every single day. And there's diehard fans all over this country that listen to us and other channels. Like, they can't get enough of it. There's people that actually watch the combine, like, from front to back.
Oh,
right?
heck yeah, there are.
The combine. Like, I'll glimpse at it. I'll watch the drills, but, like, people watch it religiously.
Like, you asked me earlier, did you watch Mac Jones?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I have no interest in watching these pro days. I mean, I did have an interest watching Trevor Lawrence, but
sure.
Like, if the Jags were interested, I'd be watching. But other than that, I don't find these entertaining.
If Urban Meyer's could get on the jet and go check out Justin Fields or Mac Jones, why do we have to watch
he was at Ohio State today.
Oh, was he really?
Well,
yeah. Okay, but he wasn't watching Mac Jones, though.
No.
Okay, so we don't care about Mac Jones. Okay, that's fair. Okay, that makes sense then. No, never mind, Urban. Sorry, man. Sorry for not giving you the benefit of the doubt. I just think that we cover a sport that people want year round. Like, regardless if it's the draft, the combine, even sometimes a Senior Bowl practice, like, people can't get enough football. True. And when you take some of it away with the combine and then you glorify these pro days a little more, well, people are going to make a big deal about it. Good and bad.
Yeah, well, and that's what I kind of just asked. I said, Justin Fields looked great today, according to everybody.
Sure.
He might be a top 5 pick in the draft. Shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he is throwing against air.
Yes.
Yes. It's like, I mean, if you're going to play baseball, the guy throws from shortstop to first base. He should. The guy pitching, he should throw a strike.
I mean,
there's no batter in there, nobody hit it, but he should throw a strike.
Unless the guy goes out there and gets the yips and all of a sudden forgets how to throw a football.
What is our expectation? Like, somebody was going to come off the sideline and tackle him? Like, seriously, what is the expectation of bad?
Yeah.
Mac Jones has the one throw that goes over. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so what, he threw 50 times?
And I think he had a few. Yeah, I know. I know, man.
I mean, so my point being is, like, what? I've just seen Trevor Lawrence thought it was good. Yeah. There were some people in the middle of Trevor Lawrence, like the red zone stuff, thought he was just okay, and then he ended with a bang. Okay, great job, Trevor Lawrence. We expected it. It was great. Yeah. I mean, the last throw was a wild. See, the reason why I thought the last throw was a wild throw is because of the distance it went, and also it felt like a throw that you could make in the NFL on a not routine basis, but maybe a couple times a year.
On a play to win the game.
Yeah, exactly. The throw Zach Wilson made, that's kind of a backyard play that you might make once every 3 seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it also shows off, and it was very impressive.
On the run.
And so, but Zach Wilson was like, wow, unbelievable. What? This thing was incredible front to back. And now here we are, Justin Fields runs a 4.44, impressive, eyes popping. And then the pro day was terrific. And this might be one of the best pro days we've ever seen. It just happened a week ago. It was one of the best pro days we've ever seen. I mean, I get recency bias. It just seems so over the top, although I do think this class is really good. And so I just don't know where that comes into play. Like, are these guys really this good that it's eye-popping even, in underwear?
So from the fans' perspective, it's eye-popping. We celebrate it. It's fireworks. We talk about it. So be it. I think from the coach's side, and now granted, every coach in a scouting department, they think differently. But I think coaches go into pro days with a good idea of what they're getting. And the pro day just reaffirms that idea. Like, for instance, I don't think Mac Jones' pro day, whether it was great or, a couple overthrows, is going to affect how how Kyle Shanahan feels about him. I think Kyle Shanahan already has his mind made up, whether it's Mac Jones, Trey Lance, or Justin Fields. I think his mind's already made up. I think a lot of these coaches' minds are already made up. Obviously, Urban Meyer's mind already made up. So, to me, the point of the pro day is to say, you know what? You can't really gain any ground here. Now, you can lose some if you completely, go off script and like I said, you get the yips. Then there's cause for concern. But if you have a couple missed throws here, a couple missed throws there, I don't see it affecting you that much. And that's why I feel like sometimes we overblow these pro days, especially at the quarterback position, just because they've seen film, all right? Teams have watched hours upon hours upon hours of film. Every single play they've broken down, the good and the bad. They know what type of quarterback they're getting, and they know what type of philosophy it's going to take to cultivate the greatness that is that quarterback. One pro day of like a 20-something minute workout isn't going to affect that.
So Urban Meyer's at Ohio State pro day. I got a great prop bet.
Okay.
I just got a great prop bet.
Okay.
Like, can we do our own betting thing? Can we start
Let's get it. I mean, I feel like everybody else is doing it.
Well, I know, but I mean, I think this would be a great prop, and I don't think they're going to do it in Vegas. But will Urban Meyer draft an Ohio State Buckeye? Yes or no?
There's a couple options out there.
Yeah. And where would you set, the odds?
Yeah.
It's a great prop, right?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay, so I piggyback that with, if you were Urban Meyer and the Jags, but go with Urban Meyer here. He's got the knowledge. Because this is where the institutional knowledge, there's some great thought out there, and I like this thought process, that guys like Pete Carroll, when he came from USC to Seattle, drafted pretty well early on because he kind of knew the landscape of kids that he might have recruited to Ohio State.
Yes.
And there's to USC. And so there's some thought that Urban could know the same, right? His ties, he's been a little bit out of it now the last couple of years, but his ties to Ohio State, he recruited a lot of players that are currently eligible for the draft. So how much knowledge does he have of those players? Well, let's just solely stick at Ohio State. And, I mean, you've got certainly players that he could look at. Tough Borland linebacker. Baron Browning, I think, ran very fast today, if I read that correctly. Jonathan Cooper, defensive end. Guard Wyatt Davis. Tight end Luke Farrell. Fields, we're not going to put him in the mix because we don't think he's taking him. Tight end Jake Hossman. Linebacker Justin Hilliard. Wide receiver C.J. Saunders. Running back Trey Sermon. Defensive tackle Tommy Tagoyai. And linebacker Pete Warner. And don't forget about Sean Wade, who's actually going to work out this April 14th. He has turf toe, so he didn't do the pro day today. There's some guys in there like Wade, Sermon, some of the linebackers. Could you see which one would you take if you're going to take one?
I gotta even. I don't know if it's a better prop bet, but I want to add to your prop bet here. Urban Meyer, Utah, Florida, Ohio State. Okay, bigger schools, obviously.
Yeah,
he's kind of made it a point that he's going to put his trust into his coaches. And obviously, I'm sure what he knows as well in the terms of the players that they bring in the locker room. Do you think Urban Meyer has a better shot, and this is the prop bet, Does Urban Meyer have a better chance of taking an Ohio State guy or a small school guy?
That'd be a good prop to lay off. We got to do this.
Yeah.
We got to get a whole game going.
I'm in.
Don't steal our idea, people. We need a little time to get this
We'll
going.
sue you. We have people on retainer ready to just fire off.
Austin's hands are weapons.
Yes.
And he just got new boxing gloves, sparring gloves.
18
that I'll put
ounces. 18 ounces.
And they smell really good.
Don't they smell great? Yeah, I mean, that's genuine leather. Hey, if you want to know what it's going to feel like, go to Publix and buy a couple T-bones right now and smack yourself in the face as hard as you can. And then amplify that by like 20. And that's what I'm bringing to the table.
That sounds like a good bet in itself.
So don't steal our idea. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think you just laid down the law. I don't think anybody's doing it now. It's a good visual.
Okay, good. And I'm talking bone in, too. I'm talking bone in T-bones. Hard as you can. Okay.
Okay, so we got a couple props.
That, yes.
But now, who do you take? Seriously. There's a lot of guys on that list.
Yeah.
I jump to the names I know a little bit better, from Borland to Browning, the linebackers, to really a Trey Sermon. Who could you add a guy like that in the middle rounds? And we know that just because of that performance that he had more than anything else.
Yep.
And then Shaun Wade is a Jacksonville guy. And I kind of put him in the mold of Marvin Wilson for Florida State.
Yeah.
Marvin Wilson was this top 10 pick. Like, go look at a mock draft back in July. And Shaun Wade and Marvin Wilson are top 15 picks. Well, things changed. Shaun Wade has lost a lot of draft stock going back to school and playing. And remember, he had opted out, and then he opted back in.
Yep.
Marvin Wilson could have left, didn't, then got hurt. His stock has dropped, and I still think he'll be a tremendous value pick somewhere along the way for some team, maybe even the Jags.
Yes.
So I kind of like the idea of Wade because there's no pressure on Wade if you did draft him at some point, say in the third round or wherever he ends up. If he drops all the way to third, I haven't even seen latest where he's fallen to. But I mean, you could end up with tremendous value. Shaun Wade, you don't get projected as a top 12, top 15 pick without a good skill set. He had a bad year. You know, I think Marvin Wilson's is more based on they're not good and he got injured. I don't know if he had I don't think he is bad at all. I think he's really pretty good.
Yeah.
So Wade, on the big spotlight, Wade struggled a little bit against some guys, especially in the postseason.
Sure. So you're asking me who do I think out of this group Urban Meyer would draft?
Yeah. I'm just telling you, I think Wade makes some sense because they have so many picks.
It makes sense. But to me, there's one guy that I like over everybody else by far. And I'm not even sure where he's slated to fall. Let me ask this one question. The strength and conditioning coach for the Jaguars now, the guy from Ohio State.
Yeah.
He was at Ohio State last year, correct? Or no, he was
doing sports radio.
He's been out of the game for how long? Do we know that?
I want to say it's like a few years.
Okay, a few years.
It might even be like almost a handful of years now.
It might be. Okay, so maybe I'm trying to pick a little bit here, but here's where I was going with. Tommy Togai, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know his name completely.
Bench pressed 225 40 times at his pro day. Now, not a big. I mean, yeah, it's 40 times. That's very impressive. Now, we don't put all that stake into the bench press. But I'm just saying,
really 45 pounds.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Running downhill, a 15-pound bar. What more do you want? But I think if we take what Urban Meyer says at face value, he's going to trust, the guys around him. Now, once again, if the strength coach for the Jaguars now was doing a radio show, wasn't with the team, or wasn't around him, like Tommy Togai, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, man, but anytime that you bench press 225, 40 times, that means one thing. And this is why the bench press is in the combine. It shows that you have a work ethic, and it shows that you're a gym rat. You're a weight room rat, if you will. This guy's obviously a weight room rat. Now, once again, if the strength coach, I forgot the guy's name, but if the strength coach has any kind of relationship with this dude from Ohio State coming out, then yeah, I think he's a favorite just because strength coaches love that type of guy. And if Urban Meyer trusts that guy for, what's his name, the strength coach for the Jaguars?
Anthony Schlegel.
Yeah. So if Schlegel comes in and says, hey, this Tommy Togai guy here, 40 times?
Yeah.
You kidding me? This kid's a blue collar.
Yeah.
He's going to work hard.
With that.
I think Urban Meyer is going to, take him at his word for it and maybe draft him in later rounds. Once again, I don't know where he's going to go in the draft, but
okay,
it's
so
we got to watch.
We got a few things out there, okay? Yeah, you pick your guy. I think Shaun Wade could be a value pick for them.
Is that your guy? You pick one guy, Brent.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
and I think there are a few guys that go out for those linebackers from a depth standpoint to Sermon, somewhere in the middle, depending on where he falls, to your guy.
Yep.
And then there are some I just don't know enough about, haven't seen him enough. And then I know Shaun Wade. I mean, obviously we know that name, but where he's dropped and how far he goes, I think Urban Meyer could find a ton of value in a guy like Shaun Wade, who we did recruit to Ohio State, by the way.
True.
So there is that tie there.
True.
And that could hurt Wade. He might know too much about Shaun Wade.
Yeah.
Might hurt a lot of these Ohio State guys.
Yeah.
But the prop bets are this, and they're good ones. Will Urban Meyer take an Ohio State Buckeye in the draft?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
And I like yours. Better chance that he ends up with a Buckeye or a small school guy, which we're going to have to quantify like small school.
True.
Outside of Power 5 and Group of 5.
Correct. Yeah, I like that.
How's that?
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
Those are our two prop bets.
So do you think he does it?
I would put a better chance he drafts a Buckeye.
Okay. And do you think he takes a small school guy as well?
You got a lot of picks.
I know.
So, I mean, he could, but I would say in this prop bet, which happens first.
Okay.
Okay.
You're taking the Buckeye.
And so I'm taking the Buckeye.
Okay. How many times thinking? I think I would take the Buckeye as well. I think that's the safe money for sure.
Listen, everybody's ego speaks to the small school guy, right? They want that, find that diamond in the rough. But you got to remember now, Urban's been around like 5-star, 4-star guys like his whole career almost. I mean, not his whole career, but especially as of the last 15 years and much of his career. He's going after that guy, man. I mean, he's going after that guy that gets off the bus and looks the part.
For sure. But the only exception could be like the wide receiver spot, where if you got this small school guy who's a burner,
that's fair enough.
Where Mike can see, I don't care the competition he played against.
I'm not saying he's not going to lift up that rock.
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly going to do that. I just think his tendency will lean toward the guy getting off the bus that looks really good. It is 5 o'clock here on a Tuesday edition Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Let's hit the happy hour horn.
The good vibes. Taste the islands and every drop of Vida de Luis tequila. 100% blue agave from Tequila, Mexico. Good vibes. It's a celebration.
In every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, you can taste the islands, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis, the only locally owned tequila in Jacks Beach. So support local and try Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Where can you pick up a bottle? Just go check it out on VitaDeLuis.com. Support local, taste the islands in every drop. We'll be back, more football chatter right after this on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
An evening shower or storm will be heavy in spots, otherwise partly cloudy tonight, dropping into the low to mid-60s. Partly sunny, breezy, and very warm on Wednesday with a brief, widely scattered afternoon shower or storm and highs in the upper 80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero-interest financing with nothing down.
They just don't make them like they used to. People say that a lot, and sometimes it's true, but not for air conditioners. Manufacturers actually make them better than they used to. It's just that local AC companies don't install them like they ought to. Old school rules of thumb and yesterday's shortcuts simply sabotage new school systems. Can new technology give you more comfort with longer service life? Only if the AC tech knows how to properly engineer it for your home and how to install it right. So techs that don't understand inverters, low voltage controls, and how to configure the software, dip switches, and refrigerant charge for Florida humidity, they'll totally turn it into turd buckets, especially if they just do a swap the box install without fixing your ductwork and airflow. My point, the better the technology, the more important the install. At Griffith Service, we fix what others can't, but it's best to have us install it right from the beginning. So if your new system ain't working right or your old one needs replacing, call
GriffinService.com.
1250-697.
It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com.
Welcome to Moe's and good morning at Moe's. In St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1, it's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Try it. You'll love it. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. They put the fast in breakfast. Made to order in the drive-thru. Try the Home Wrecker breakfast burrito. Your choice of bacon, chicken, or steak with scrambled eggs, shredded cheese, and seasoned potatoes. Served daily at 6 a.m. St. Augustine location only. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day. Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Mirabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Voted best wings in St. Augustine as well. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Mirabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes. At Willie Jewell's.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Watch Tanika Hughes and John Bachman on Action News Jax at 5, 6, and 11.
We make it a point to cover important local news you need to know about.
Perspective is important. It's not just what happened, it's the reason why it happened and how that impacts you.
Plus, it's where you'll find the Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Weather is always changing, and my forecast will help you plan your day and week ahead.
Watch and you'll see why CBS47 and FOX30 is local coverage you can count on.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now, Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 200 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home or just steering clear of coworkers, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jacks on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN690.
Austin Lane.
I had braces. I still have my permanent retainer in. It's been knocked out twice.
Brent Martineau.
So it's not stuck in there.
No, it's not stuck in there.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I don't even know what that means, villains in the context of it. I heard Aaron just told me that Blake's comment this morning was, hold on, everyone told me I sucked for the last 2 years. Now everyone's saying I'm the villain because I'm here. So, a lot of it is just narratives, and people love to talk hoops and barbershop and whatever it may be. So that stuff is, it's not something that I really partake in. I'm kind of busy with the nuts and bolts in here.
Brent, what do you got for us?
There was a hint in there, but I'm not sure you guys heard it.
Yeah, we were kind of yapping. He did say barbershop.
That was not the hint.
What was the hint?
He said Blake, or talked about Blake.
So it's the Nets. I was thinking that when he said barbershop, it was NBA. They talk about the barbers more in the NBA than anywhere else.
I mean, that wasn't...
So was that Harden?
No.
He said Blake. Well, it could be Blake Bortles. No, not Blake Bortles.
I was thinking Blake Griffin.
Yeah, Blake Griffin. Okay.
It is Blake Griffin.
Okay, so then who on the Nets could it be? It wasn't Kyrie.
It wasn't Durant.
Who just went over there? Didn't they just sign somebody else? The Nets?
Well, they did sign Marcus Aldridge, but it's not him.
No idea then.
It's Steve Nash.
Yeah. I forget he's the coach. Yeah, he's the coach there. That's right.
Pretty soon they'll have him play point guard. They've got so many damn good players on the Nets.
For sure.
How about that day by Westbrook?
Yeah.
Well,
no
it was
big deal.
35, 10, and 21. Is that right? It was
21 assists. Yeah.
21 assists. Yeah. 35 points and 21 assists.
Yeah.
I think he's the first player to ever do that.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yep.
How many? Do you remember how many points they scored in that game?
I can look it up.
Because that would account for, depending on, let's just say they were all twos on the assist, which they probably weren't.
Sure.
That's 77 points that he helped account for.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's got to be, it's probably not a record because guys score 70 points sometimes. But
it's got to be up there.
That's ridiculous. 21 assists to go along with 35. Because you can score 35, but can you still share the basketball enough?
I know.
When you're scoring 35.
Do you think they scored over or under 130?
Under, I bet. I bet he had more than 50% of their offense if you add it up.
I'm going to say over because nobody was playing defense.
Yeah, 132.
Wow.
And they beat the Pacers 132 to 124.
Hey, TJ McConnell played some defense, though, huh?
That's actually
what he did.
Let's see what he did real quick.
TJ McConnell, 22 minutes.
Yep.
1 rebound, 8 points, 9 assists.
What was the field goal? What was the field goal rate, though?
I don't know.
What's he averaging assist-wise, McConnell?
For assists?
Yeah.
He's actually pretty high this year.
He's got to be.
I mean, let's relax with maybe top 50.
Well, top 50.
Calm down, everybody.
This year he is averaging 6.5.
That's got to be a career high.
Oh, it's definitely higher than his career average, which is 5. So
yeah, I mean,
I'd be willing to bet
if I were you, man, this is the time to do it. You should be wearing that jersey. This is the year to do it.
By the way, TJ McConnell went 3 of 5. So
that's not
I
bad.
respect. No, that was good. I mean, you didn't really shoot that much, but yeah, that was good.
Oh, he doesn't have to.
Know your role. I get it.
Yeah.
Know your role. I mean, he almost had a double-double. He had 9 assists and 8 points. Good for him.
Yeah. There you
go. I was thinking of this. If we get this in the NCAA tournament, if we get Gonzaga and Baylor, this will be the closest thing we've maybe seen in a long, long time, or the feel of an NBA game in college, especially in the Final Four National Championship. Now, I know what you're going to tell me. Like, Brent, Loyola Marymount used to score this amount. I know, but that wasn't like an NBA feel to the game. They went up and down and raced down the court. That's not what these guys do. Like, I'm talking efficiency. Like, in the NBA, teams shooting 45, 47, 50% in a game is not like that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
In college, it is. Like, I mean, for teams to shoot 50%, Gonzaga does that. Like, they average over 50% for the season.
It's efficiency and its ability to run the court as well in transition, which both teams do, I think, very well.
So I almost want to, first of all, they might be the two best teams in college basketball anyway. They probably are.
Fair.
And Michigan's very good, and I know Houston plays a little different style, and they're good, but I do think the two best teams are what they have been all year. I mean, it's the biggest, to me, it's the biggest separation point we've seen in college basketball in a while. The top two teams and then kind of the rest.
But isn't that, it's crazy though, because we don't normally see this in the NCAA tournament. Like, we usually see the best teams that we think are the best teams during the regular season get bounced out. And right now you can say, yeah, Baylor or Gonzaga are the best teams in the tournament, and they could play each other in the final.
But I think that's my point a little bit. Now, I give Arkansas a lot of credit. I thought Baylor was just going to run them out of the gym yesterday, and I give them some credit. But Gonzaga, I think even there's a pretty decent gap between Gonzaga and Baylor.
Yeah.
But I just think that Gonzaga, Baylor, and then there's the rest. And the rest are okay. They're not bad. But there's certain separation in my estimation. Like, you really have to play a poor game if you're Gonzaga, poor game if you're Baylor, and you can get away with probably your A- game, B+ game, B game, even against a Michigan or a Houston or whoever else, in my opinion. We'll find out if that's true. But I do think we get a chance to see. If we do get that game, you really might get a championship game that's like 105-98. Like, you could. I'm not predicting that, because usually those games get a little bit tighter anyway. In a championship game, they feel each other out. The defense gets amped up. There's some tightness. You don't shoot as well. So I'm just saying you could. Like, those guys get up and down the floor, and their efficiency on offense is like that good, where you might see that score. I think even if you got like a 95-87 game, that's a very high scoring game by college standards.
If it's going to be Baylor and Gonzaga, do we go ahead right now and put in the trademark for mustaches versus mullets?
Let's do it.
Okay, just saying. I mean, we got facial hair versus,
what did we have earlier? What was the Coastal Carolina game?
Oh, that was Mormons versus the mullets.
Mormons and mullets. Yeah.
Mormons versus the mullets, which someone stole, by the way. They made T-shirts, but they spelled Mormons
stolen lately.
I do. That's whatever, though. Oh, that's why people be happy.
Tonight, USC Gonzaga. Now, keep an eye on USC. I think people are giving a lot of respect to USC. I think they should. But, again, Gonzaga's going to beat them, folks. I just think Gonzaga's that good. This is not a knock on what USC has built, but Gonzaga's that good.
Well, hang on. Is it Gonzaga or is it UCLA?
No, Gonzaga and USC.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And then I've got UCLA beating Michigan. How about that?
Gotcha.
You're probably not coming with me with that one, but Michigan has played excellent basketball. I think UCLA has played unbelievable basketball in this tournament. They have been really good. They have won a bunch of different ways. Heck, even the other day, they get pushed to overtime on a buzzer beater, and then they dominate OT. Like, they've got a toughness about them that I like them today against Michigan. I really do. So I think it's going to be UCLA and Gonzaga that win tonight.
See, I don't know. Like, this tournament has kind of shown me, and I get it. Like, Illinois, they obviously didn't live up to the hype and everything like that. But, like, with Michigan, I've been waiting for Michigan to fall off. I really have. I've been waiting for Gonzaga to fall off a little bit. And both those teams haven't, Brent. Like, they've been playing a high-quality brand of basketball now for the entire tournament. And I think eventually you just got to say, this is who they are. And then they're not going to fall off. They're not going to have that bad game. It's what they bring to the table. You know how I feel about USC, because I have them in my mascot bracket winning it. So I wouldn't mind seeing a big upset against Gonzaga, but I think it's going to be the Zags, and I got the Wolverines as well. I think the two number ones are going to advance.
How about this? I was in this little pool, and I gave up on. I lost Texas on the opening night.
Yeah, that you hate to see that.
And so there were like 44 people in this pool, and I was like 39th after the first weekend.
Sure.
I have climbed all the way to 5th.
Because what do you have? You have Gonzaga now?
I had Houston in the Final Four, I had Baylor in the Final Four. I got Gonzaga in the Final Four.
Okay.
And then I had Texas.
Yeah.
And then I had Texas beating Gonzaga. So I can't win the thing.
Sure.
But it's amazing the climb.
It's respectable.
I mean, from
going down swinging.
Yeah, baby.
We respect that.
I'm back.
I like it, man. I like it.
Wish they paid out top 5.
Is there a chance to win it? Still or
no, because a lot of people have Gonzaga.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not going to win it. But I saved a little pride.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I mean, it's about finishing the race.
You got to finish the race, man. You got to always finish the race.
We're going to try to finish the race here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Put us some Buckeyes down that slope on the 40-yard dash, and we'll get to the finish line perhaps. It's coming up on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
I'm Jake Mitchell. The state of Texas will be well represented in the Final Four with the Cougars from Houston and the Bears from Baylor punching their tickets last night. Now that Houston has made the Final Four, guard Quentin Grimes wants to know if the Cougars will finally get some respect.
I definitely feel like I did, just knowing everything I went through, just knowing everything the team has went through together, and just persevering through everything. People are counting us out the whole year, and we just stayed with it. We did our thing, went out there, and now we're going to the Final Four, baby.
The conclusion of the Elite Eight is tonight with USC versus Gonzaga and UCLA versus Michigan. Trevor Lawrence is the presumed number 1 overall pick for the NFL draft next month, but he will not attend the draft taking place in Cleveland. He's going to stay in Clemson with some family members and friends, and then he'll probably get on a plane to Jacksonville. Sports Center Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan.
The biggest names in sports, coming to your mornings.
Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski.
Kevin, there were so many expectations about Baker Mayfield coming into this season, but what impressed you most about him?
One of the things I love about Baker is how he works. He's a gym rat. He grinds. He wants to be great, and he understands that there's no secret. You can't snap your fingers and it just happens.
The biggest names in sports, every morning with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin on ESPN Radio.
Ever finally get around to trying something and it's so much better than you expected, where you're mentally kicking yourself for not doing it sooner or wondering where it's been your whole life? That's how Griffin customers feel about their Florida-rated AC. They even tell me,
we're never going back to regular AC.
And it's the same for our Florida-rated water heaters, too. It's so much better, our customers wonder why no one told them about it before. Well, we fix what others can't. Tired of having to run a shower or faucet for 3 minutes before you actually get hot water? We can fix that.
Nice.
Tired of Jacksonville's swampy hard water hurting your appliances and hair? We can fix it.
Naturally.
Tired of a tank water heater going bad every 5 to 8 years or running out of hot water?
Yep.
Griffin can fix that big time.
Oh, yeah. I never knew I could have hot water as soon as I turn on the tap.
And my hair could be so much healthier. And my appliances can last longer.
Well, you can, but only if you call
GriffinService.com.
1430-261-1250-697.
Life is complicated. We all know it, and all can use the proper support system. You know what else can be complicated? Owning a home. And that's why Rex was built to go beyond the simple real estate transaction. Full-service agents for buying and selling, mortgage services, insurance quotes, escrow and title, even home repair. All one call away. I guess you could call Rex your home support system and not a typical brokerage. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. Want more? Of course you do. With all that convenience comes reduced fees, too. In fact, the average Rex homeowner saves over $10,000 when buying and selling a home. Want to get started? It's never too soon. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. 833-739-4663. Florida license number CQ1057788. For further licensing disclosures, please visit rexhomes.com.
Welcome to Moe's and good morning at Moe's. In St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1, it's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Try it. You'll love it. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. They put the fast in breakfast. Made to order in the drive-thru. Try the Home Wrecker breakfast burrito. Your choice of bacon, chicken, or steak with scrambled eggs, shredded cheese, and seasoned potatoes. Served daily at 6 a.m. St. Augustine location only. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
Jacksonville is booming, and it's a great time to start or grow a business. Whether you're an HVAC company, food truck, or just a crazy entrepreneur, One-to-One Financial can help you reach the next level. We're the #1 small lender for small business, and we work with folks the banks ignore. You're never too small for your hometown credit union, and we're the only CDFI certified institution in Jacksonville. Learn more about One-to-One Financial's award-winning business services at 121fcu.org. Approved SBA lender, federally insured by NCUA.
How do you measure the depth of your sadness? What number of arguments is too many? How do you count your sleepless nights? Don't. count on DuPont Counseling Group at Jewish Family and Community Services instead. Our professional counselors can assist with everything from depression to relationships to children's issues. Trust DuPont Counseling Group to help you navigate life's challenges better. Jewish Family and Community Services. Here for mental health. Here for Jax. Learn more at hereforjax.com.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road. You can even rent 2021 models. Rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Culhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. Yeah, they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the south side. Culhane's Irish Pub, Irish sass with 5-star class.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jax on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
My issue here is right at football versus analytics and the integrity of the professional sport competition and the racial inequities in sports. Flex, and I don't think everybody understands it. Did they lie? Absolutely they lied.
What?
Because
Give me a lie.
They were going to be football plus analytics, but they intentionally made it football versus analytics. You got to understand, it wasn't going to be, they wasn't looking for coaches. They were going to take 2 years and they were going to find a way to use this as an experiment to make sure that they could get the data that they needed for it to be better at the expense of whoever. And that's not right. I don't care what nobody says. That's not the way it should be. They also lied to try to paint the picture that I was against analytics.
That's Hugh Jackson. Huh? He went on a Cleveland station. Guys from Live Local Loud were talking about this last night. And went on a Cleveland station and really kind of let out the dirty laundry on the whole Cleveland relationship with Hugh Jackson. Now, he's got a little bit of reason to gripe. Hugh Jackson, to me, I always say this, okay? I can't wait until I get to the age, and that at some point, I think people get to an age, and I don't know what age it's at, but it's definitely not like 43, okay? Where you really don't give a damn what anybody else thinks about what you say. Yeah. And you don't take the PR way to PC way to do it.
Sure.
You know, you're not protecting anybody. Yep. Love me, hate me, whatever I'm saying. Now, some people just do it naturally all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of like shock your mock.
Like shock your mock.
Do it all the time.
But like,
every day.
I think about this like when you think about your grandparents.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they just like,
they don't care.
This is the way it is and the way I think, and I don't care if you like it or not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of,
they're not worried about Twitter reactions.
They're not.
No.
Right?
No.
And they're not worried about their job anymore and what their boss is going to say.
No.
Or what they don't care if it's like 1920s related or not.
I envy it. I'll be honest. I envy it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I can't wait until I get to that stage where I just don't give a damn.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And your kids are kind of rolling their eyes a little bit, but it's like, what can we do? Yeah.
I really can't wait. Like, genuinely can't wait. But it's not yet. But I feel like Hugh Jackson kind of just did that.
Yeah.
He kind of, like, because you don't do that. Most people don't do that.
True. But he's got nothing to lose.
But now he doesn't care about his next job or whatever, right?
Yep.
I mean, and so it's an enviable place to be. And, I mean, it is what it is. So Cleveland was a mess. Hugh Jackson, you didn't do a great job. I mean, what else is there to write about it? I mean, it didn't work. But you won one game in 2 years, man.
I know.
There's going to be some personal accountability there.
Of course, man. You got to take some sort of. You're the head coach. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to the lines real quick. South Beach Gary with the late phone call today. What's up, man?
You guys, who do you think is going to be the first defensive player off the board? Do you think it's going to be Patrick Surtain? And I think someone's going to get a real buy, I think, because I think he may go 9 or 10. It's going to be a great value pick for somebody.
It's almost like he subscribes to the Brett Martineau mock draft podcast, talking about Surtain. You're a big Patrick Surtain guy.
I am a big Surtain guy,
Yeah.
and he could be the first guy off the board. I was reading
Parsons,
something.
though, too.
I was
could
reading
be.
something. Yeah, I was reading something on this. Where was it? That it's been a long time since like a defensive guy slipped this far down where he could end up.
Sure.
Like outside the top 8 picks or something.
Okay.
I think so many people have mocked the Cowboys and Surtain. Like, is there that much logic that that's going to be the first guy or to somebody else? Because here's what's happening. If the quarterbacks get shoved up to the top 4, that puts Penei Sewell down to 5. Since he passes on him, that puts him down to 6 or 7. Well, then you also have the Waddles, the Chases, the Devontae Smiths. Well, there's going to be a run on those guys, I would think.
Yeah.
There's no offensive tackle. I do think, like you're talking about a defensive guy, probably at the Cowboys at 10. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a legit chance that's the first defensive guy off the board.
Yeah, I guess as far as the odds are concerned, he's probably the favorite. But like I said, there's Parsons out there that could be intriguing. What about Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I think teams are going to be. This is a good question. We'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. But if you were a team, are you a little bit questionable about guys that didn't play last year? Because I bring that up because look what happened to Marvin Wilson. Look what happened to Sean Wade. I mean, if you put Farley in there, does he drop? Like, doesn't that have to run through your mind if you're a GM?
Yep.
And so does it hurt you to opt out a little bit for some of these guys?
If we look at Mel Kiper's mock draft real quick, his latest one, he has got to go to number 10. He's got Patrick Surtain, number 10. First one taken.
Everybody's got Surtain to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a foregone conclusion.
And then he's got Kwity Paye at number 11. Right after from Michigan, defensive end.
Okay.
And then he's got Caleb Farley, number 12.
He ran fast, too, didn't he?
Who hasn't ran fast?
Yeah.
I mean, we can go to Ohio State right now, Brent.
We can run fast.
We're all putting 4.7s up.
Yeah.
Me and you, for sure. 4.7s all day.
I like
on tap, 4.7s.
Team effort.
On tap. Yeah, together.
We got to run to break. Let's do it.
No, I think we're done, aren't we?
I mean, but it's a break. It's still a break.
Oh, but we're done in the show.
But we are done.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to stay after.
Okay. You sure?
Live Local Loud coming up next. See you on TV tonight, CBS47, FOX30. Back at it. Don't forget, send in hashtag Shock Your Mock for tomorrow, the rest of the week, and all the way through April. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for listening to ESPN 690.
Hey, boss. How's it going?
How's it going? Oh, let me tell you how it's going. So far this year, I've broken my pinky toe, had a flat tire, and currently I'm trying to pass a kidney stone the size of Rhode Island.
Well, karma strikes again.
What?